Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 4 of this 2018 USPBL season. My name is Rich Borland. In just a second, my partner Luke Hammett will join me, but first, let's dive into this matchup between the Utica Unicorns and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It's the second weekend of the 2018 USPBL season, so we thought we would first look at how these two teams matched up last year. Between the Unicorns and Hoppers, we saw a total of 23 baseball games in 2017. The Unicorns won the season series 13 games to 10, and in those 23 games, the Unicorns outscored the Hoppers 174 to 137. As for this season, both teams are as eager as ever to make a run at the USPBL championship in September. The Unicorns, who were crowned the inaugural season champs back in 2016, were shut out by the Westside Woolly Mammoths in Game 1 of the 2017 playoffs by a score of 3-0. As for the Diamond Hoppers, they are the only team in the USPBL that has yet to play for a championship. They were the odd team out in year 1, and as for last season, a similar tale was told as the Mammoths moved on from the Unicorns in round 1 to defeat the Hoppers in the semifinal game by a final of 6-4. As we look on to this year and tonight's matchup, we have a fun pitching game on hand, as it will be Cody Brown versus Tyler Palm. Brown went 4 innings while allowing no runs on opening night against these same Hoppers. And as for Tyler Palm, he makes his second start of the season, where on May 13th against the Beavers, Palm pitched 5 shutout innings while giving up just 2 hits and 1 walk. He added 5 strikeouts to his total. To go a little more in depth on this matchup, I want to now bring in my broadcasting partner for the evening, Mr. Luke Hammett. Luke, welcome to the broadcast, my friend.
Thank you, Rich. And, definitely most exciting pitching matchup tonight between Palm and Brown. Let's start with Tyler Palm. Let's go in depth about his last start for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Palm is making his second consecutive start, which is a good thing about this league. I mean, you only play about 2 games a weekend, so you can rotate guys just in and out. So that's a great thing for Paul Nochi, the manager of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, to throw his ace back out there, the 6'8" Oakland University product in Tyler Palm. He's making his second consecutive start. On Mother's Day against the Birmingham Beavers, Tyler was nearly unhittable, like you mentioned. Only 2 hits over 5 innings, and that 6'8" frame on the mound, his wingspan is absolutely massive, so that cuts about 4 feet down from the distance from the mound to home plate. So, yeah, Tyler's going to feature a 4-seam fastball tonight. He's a big power arm. He'll be sitting around 91, 92 miles an hour. You could last week we could hear the mitt pop with Thomas the Congo behind the plate. The mitt was popping all night. So, yeah, Tyler Palm is just a great guy. He's an easy guy to cheer for, especially just around this area. So a lot of fans here at the USPBL just cheering for Tyler Palm. Got to watch him in college. Tonight he's going to be featuring that 4-seam fastball and that hard slider who struck out 5 guys with.
No doubt. In 2017, Palm had participated in 8 games for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Through 16 innings worth of work, it had a save to his credit, only gave up 12 hits in those 16 innings, 4 walks to 9 strikeouts. Not a ton of numbers to look from Mr. Tyler Palm, but he's becoming a more dominant figure in this league day after day, start after start. So we're excited to see what Tyler Palm can do on the bump here this afternoon. Let's introduce the starting lineup that he will face off against here today in the visitors in the Utica Unicorns. Leading off, playing third base for the Unicorns, number 9, Carter Grote. Batting second, number 4, the second baseman, Dylan Sprague. Batting third, playing first base, number 6, Dan Ward. Batting in the cleanup spot tonight, playing left field, number 8, Jimmy Latona. Batting fifth in right field this afternoon, number 2, Spencer Ibarra. Batting sixth behind the dish, number 21, Chris Allen. Batting 7th and playing center field today, number 10, Justin Erlanderson. Batting 8th as the designated hitter tonight, number 24, Nico Lolio. We'll have a little bit more on him a little later on in the broadcast. He was a part of an interview with Tony Paul and the Detroit News, the USPBL partnering with the Detroit News and having a get-to-know-me player featured every week where Tony Paul of the Detroit News asks and has a conversation with a player from the USPBL every week. So that's a nice little fun thing we're doing here this season. And then rounding out this Utica Unicorn lineup, number 13 at shortstop this afternoon is Adrian Guzman. And then on the other end, Luke, how about you give us the starting lineups for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers?
Yeah, for the Hoppers, they're giving Johnny Knight IV the night off, so there's going to be Cody Rudicelli will be taking over the captain position in center field. Kevin Wiley will be batting second and playing shortstop. Gunnar Buhner will be at third base and batting third. Josh McAdams will be in right field tonight and batting fourth. And now the recent star of the USPBL, Chris Mangus, will be the designated hitter tonight and batting fifth for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Gabe Gunter will be playing in left field and batting sixth. Cameron Coons, the new Eastside Diamond Hopper, will be batting seventh and playing first base tonight. And Sebastian Diaz will be at second base and batting eighth. And rounding up the order will be behind the plate tonight, Thomas Lukongo.
So you mentioned the name Chris Mangus. He set a little bit of USPBL history in that first weekend. His first 3 plate appearances, he had left the park in all 3 of those at-bats. Really something spectacular, and probably the high note of that first initial weekend here at Jimmy John's Field in the 2018 season. But it looks as if we're getting our starting lineups just finished up here on the field. So in just a second, we will be having our national anthem getting sung here at the ballpark. It looks as if our home plate umpire for tonight is Gary Wagenschutz. Didn't have time to figure out our umpires for tonight's crew, but Gary, a familiar face here at the USPBL, so we got a good one behind the dish here tonight. And making his way out to the mound as we speak is number 35, Tyler Palm. And we will let it ride out here just a few more moments as we're getting ready for the national anthem. But we will have that for you, and when we come back, it will be first pitch here from Game 4 of the 2018 USPBL season.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your caps. Veterans and active military may keep your caps on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem. Performed this evening by recent American Idol contestant Genevieve Linkowski, joined by her sister Corinne. Also joining them on the field tonight is Romeo Community School's American Sign Language Department to sign the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripe
So I don't know about you, Luke, but that was a pretty good rendition there of our America's Song. It was a American Idol contestant, former American Idol contestant out there on the field doing the pregame festivities. So that was a good little start to our night here. We hope it continues as we have Tyler Palm getting ready to start his night on the mound. He's going to have a couple of warm-up pitches as everybody makes their way off the field. We had a lot of baseball buddies out on the diamond here this evening here out of the Macomb Township Little League. So shout out to the Macomb Township Little League for coming out to the ballpark tonight. That's where the dreams all begin there in the Little League. But as the starting pitcher and everybody else out there on the diamond are getting loose, let's bring you the starting lineup for the Utica Unicorns here once again, and then the defense for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Luke, let's give them the starting lineup for the Utica Unicorns here.
The Unicorns will be led off by Carter Grote. He's playing third base tonight. Dylan Sprague in that 2 slot. He definitely displays a lot of power from the left side. Dan Ward, boy, you cannot miss Dan Ward.
Speaking of power.
Oh, yeah. During batting practice, he hit our Chevy Pavilion on the fly out in left field. Rich, that was an absolute bomb. It's always a gift to see Dan Ward and Nico Lolio take batting practice down there. Jimmy Latona is in left field and playing batting fourth. Spencer Ibarra in the 5 slot and playing right field. Chris Allen behind the plate and batting 6th. Justin Erlanderson batting 7th and playing center. And Nico Lolio, designated hitter, batting 8th. And Adrian Guzman playing shortstop and batting 9th.
And then for the defense, behind the man on the mound, Mr. Tyler Palm. From left to right in the outfield, number 44, Gabe Gunter. Number 4, Cody Rudselli. And over in right, number 1, Josh McAdams. And then your infielders from left to right. Number 19 at third base, Gunnar Buhner. At shortstop, number 7, Kevin Watley. Over there at second base, number 2, Sebastian Diaz. And then over at first base, number 27, Cameron Coons. Mentioned Tyler Palm, the starting pitcher on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. His battery mate will be number 13, Thomas Lacongo. Let's talk a little bit. We mentioned it in the pregame show, what exactly Tyler Palm can do for a team, but the man out of West Branch, Michigan, at 6'8", 250 pounds, he's quite the force out there on the diamond. I mentioned last season with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, he participated in 8 games and had 16 innings pitched under his belt, had 1 save as he was mainly used as a bullpen pitcher for this Eastside team last season. Gave up 12 hits in those 16 innings while allowing 4 walks and had 9 strikeouts to his credit with a 4.50 ERA. And then, like we mentioned, this season, Mr. Palm getting a start for this Eastside Diamond Hopper team that was back against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, where he went 5 innings and gave up no runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. So it's going to be a fun night out of the right-hander, Mr. Tyler Palm. What do you expect to see out of him?
I expect him just to pick up where he left off, work ahead of the batters, which is a great thing which he did against the defending champs of our USPBL Baseball League, the Birmingham Beavers. He worked ahead of those batters. He got ahead of them in the count. And, he finished with 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. So that's a strikeout an inning. Palm was just absolutely dominant on Mother's Day. That was a great day as well, Rich. Your mom was in the crowd. She was up here in the booth. It was just a great day of baseball, and I expect Tyler Palm to do the same thing, which he did that day on Mother's Day here tonight.
No doubt about that. Well, the Eastside Diamond Hoppers looking for their first victory of the 2018 USPBL season. They come into this matchup 0-2 on the season, and then on the other end, the Utica Unicorns trying to leave right where they left off as they are 1-0 on the season. Their victory coming last weekend against these same Eastside Diamond Hoppers. And it looks like we're just about ready to get underway here from Jimmy John's Field. No wind in the forecast as the first pitch called strike on the inside part of the plate. First pitch at 7:04 p.m. It is a beautiful 72 degrees here in Utica, Michigan. Tyler Palm, like you mentioned, Luke, getting off to the right start, starting his first batter off with a strike. And then pitch number 2, off to the right side of the infield where Sebastian Diaz looked like a routine ground ball over to the right side, but I'm assuming this one might go down in the books as an error. He threw that ball a little bit off center. Cameron Coons, the first baseman there, had to go off of the bag to keep that baseball in the field of play. So it's going to go down in the books as an E4, and Carter Grote reaches base safely in his first appearance.
Yeah, Diaz just tried to play the hop. he backed himself out in the outfield and just forced himself to make a tough throw. If he would have charged that baseball, it would have easily gotten Grote. But, Palm just worked ahead of Grote right there. But, just unfortunate events there for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, which was the story of their series last weekend.
Yeah, the Diamond Hoppers, like I mentioned in that pregame show, the only team here in the USPBL to not reach a championship berth, as Sprague takes a line drive out into right center field, but Cody Ruzzelli ranges to his left to make the play with ease. Carter Grote's going to stay over there on first base. One down here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
A lot of fly balls expected tonight out of Tyler Palm. Just get those easy outs, especially Ruzzelli out there in the outfield. Johnny Knight the fourth, getting the night off. Rich, I think Johnny Knight was definitely the most exciting player to watch in that opening series for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Just his defensive ability out there, he covers a lot of ground, but Ruzzelli just made a perfect example out of that, just how to feel the fly ball perfectly, and he executed the throw back in the infield to keep Grote out there at first base.
Yeah, Ruzzelli definitely has some of the best wheels in this entire league, and a guy who doesn't have much speed but definitely can show his power from time to time is Dan Ward, stepping up to the plate now. Leads his team with runs batted in and hits. Tied for the team lead with a home run here for the Utica Unicorns. But Dan Ward standing in from the right side now. He's out of Garfield Heights, Ohio, as he fouls off the second pitch he sees here in this at-bat. He is quickly down in the count here, 0-2.
Yeah, this is just power on power here between Palm and Ward. Ward hit one nearly 400 feet last weekend for the Utica Unicorns, and Tyler Palm, his 6'8" frame, just a big power arm, topping out at 92 these days.
Power versus power in this third matchup of the night for Tyler Palm. Dan Ward on the 0-2 offer elects to hold off on that pitch. Count going to 1-2, still in favor of the 6'8" right-hander. And it's just, from up here in the booth, you can just tell that the presence of Tyler Palm on that mound, it is dominating, and you wonder if the stats will continue like he had against the Beavers in his first start of the season, as Ward hits a slow ground ball over to the left side, trying to make a play with his bare hand is Gunnar Buhner, and in fact, he will make the play. You don't see that happen often, but here in the USPBL, you got great offense, great defense. Gunnar Buhner exemplimenting that in a perfect fashion to retire Dan Ward over there at first base.
Yeah, you just saw the respect that Dan Ward has around this league. Gunnar Buhner was nearly in left field, forcing himself to make a tough play with the bare hand. And, Rich, I'm sure that play will be sent into Sports Center later tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about that. A top 10 play nominee for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. But let's see if they can get out of this jam here. Runner in scoring position now is Carter Grote, who moves over on that ground ball to the left side. And now standing in up at the plate is number 8, Jimmy Latona.
Latona also left the ballpark for the Utica Unicorns last weekend. Him and Ward went back-to-back against these Diamond Hoppers. I think Paul Noce, Rich, today we were suspecting Devin Alexander to make the start tonight for the Diamond Hoppers, but Noce elects to go with Tyler Palm.
As Latona hits a line drive down that left field line, it's going to stay just inside that line. Coming in to score is Carter Grote from second base, and making his way into second, standing up, is Jimmy Latona. RBI double for that man right there out of Rochester, New York. And the Utica Unicorns are in front first here. It's 1-0.
Yeah, not much you can do about that if you're Tyler Palm. Jimmy Latona put that one perfectly down the left field line. Connor Grote scores easily and get the Unicorns a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
So now Spencer Ibarra standing in for this Utica Unicorn team. Spencer Ibarra batting from the left side, looks at ball one to begin his at-bat. Spencer Ibarra out of Ohio University, out of the MAC, won a Mid-American Conference Championship with the Ohio Bobcats back in 2016. Ibarra head in the count here, 1-0, sees a fastball. Looked to be maybe high from our vantage point here, but home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz saying that it did stay down just enough, so the count even here at 1-1.
Yeah, Tyler Palm facing these lefties. He got the fly ball against Dylan Sprague, and now let's see how he fares against Spencer Ibarra.
Ibarra tried to hold back but could not. He ends up going after that one as he crosses home plate with the lumber. So the count now 1-2 in favor of Tyler Palm. The last thing you want is to get behind Tyler Palm in the count.
Oh, yeah. if you're a bar here, you're sitting slider here. He had a power slider that he features in that 3-pitch arsenal of his. So Tyler Palm loves to throw that 1-2 slide piece.
Palm, the kick, the push. This one getting away from the catcher, Thomas Lukongo. Initially, Spencer Ibarra was really disappointed in himself, and we might have a play at the plate. Tyler Palm making the tag, but it was just not in time. Sliding underneath that one was Jimmy Latona. Utica Unicorns with some great base running here in the top of the first, and on the other end for the Diamond Hoppers, sort of lackadaisical there on the defense. Already an error that led this game off from Sebastian Diaz, and look what it's led to. 2 runs here now for the Utica Unicorns as they are out in front.
An absolute heads-up play by Jimmy Latona. He saw the ball trickle away from Lukongo, and he decided to run through that stop sign over at third base and helping his ball club out to jump out to a 2-0 lead here over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
Yeah, tough start to an already 0-for-2 season for this Eastside team. Mentioned they come into this one with an 0-2 record as Chris Allen now stands up in the batter's box for this Utica team as he looks at called strike 1 to begin this at-bat. Palm with the delivery on the 0-1. That heater coming in right over the heart of the plate, but not much Chris Allen can do with that one. He fouls it off and just stays alive in there.
Yeah, Rich, this is runs number 14 and 15 on the season against these Eastside Diamond Hoppers from these very own Utica Unicorns as they won that opening night matchup 13-3. So, Unicorns are definitely showing their power in those bats. And
as the 0-2 pitch hit over to the right side, Diaz with his second opportunity of the inning, and he makes it complete right there as he says something into his glove. They're not happy with himself after that inning, but Allen is retired for the third and final out. But the Unicorns tack on 2 runs in the top of the first inning. We head to the home half. Eastside Diamond Hoppers coming up to the plate for the first time here tonight. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are through just a half inning of play. The Utica Unicorns with a commanding 2-0 lead to begin this ball game. They got 2 runs, both unearned, as a leadoff error from Sebastian Diaz allowed Carter Grote to come in to score on a double off the bat of Jimmy Latona, and then he came in to score on a wild play that involved a couple of miscues from the defense. But we head now to this home half where Cody Brown stands in for this Utica Unicorn team. Cody Brown making his second start of the 2018 USPBL season, where he, in his first start, went 4 innings strong, gave up 4 hits, had 3 strikeouts, no walks, and ended up not getting a decision in the game the other night. But for a little bit more detail on Cody Brown, let's hand it over to Mr. Luke Hammett.
Yeah, Cody Brown last weekend was absolutely fantastic for Jim Easton's ball club. Brown really mixed his pitches perfectly. He's got that power two-seam fastball. He sawed off a lot of bats against these Eastside Diamond Hoppers last week. He also has that power slider, which struck out 4 of them. And, we talked to Cody Brown in the clubhouse. He said he can get that two-seam fastball on a good day up to 95, 96. So you think with that stuff, with that kind of stuff and that velocity, you're going to be thinking he's going to get a call from a Major League Ball club here pretty soon.
No doubt about that. So we've done a couple of these in the broadcast so far. We hadn't gotten to it yet, but I'm going to put you on the spot here, Luke. We are going to go with our pick the sticks here. Why don't you take somebody on the Diamond Hoppers as we get through their lineup? And since he hasn't had an at-bat yet, I'll go with Nico Lolio of the Utica Unicorns. But as we get started here, before you let them know who your pick the stick is, Cody Brown's getting his night started. Misses high and inside to Cody Rudisilli here to begin this home half of the first. The 1-0 missing inside. And so what do you think here from this Eastside team, Luke?
You know, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon here. I'm going to go with Chris Mangus. I mean, obvious choice for me.
What a surprise here. As we mentioned, Chris Mangus in his first couple of at-bats, 3 of them to be exact, in this 2018 USPBL season. He had left the yard every single time. He's having a great start to this season, and look at this, a 3-0 pitch. There we go, Cody Brown. He finds the strike zone finally after starting off Cody Rudisilli with that 3-0 count. Rudisilli out of Wofford College back in 2016 had a .280 average with 28 RBIs, but not having to do anything with the bat right there. He sees a couple of pitches and will waltz his way on down to first base. A leadoff walk here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, have them in motion.
Yeah, for Cody Brown here, you just drew a 5-pitch walk. You're going to try to get Kevin Watley to ground into a double play. So you're going to keep the ball low. You're going to throw that two-seamer inside, try to get something on the left side of the infield, hit soft and slow, and possibly turn this double play to help your defense out behind Cody Brown.
So now standing in, Kevin Watley of this Eastside team, the Port Orchard, Washington native. He's played in a couple of games with this Eastside team, all 3 of them to be exact. In his last appearance, it went 2 for 4, came in to score twice, did have a home run. So Kevin Watley can show the power from time to time, but quickly down in the count here, 0-2 is the shortstop.
Yeah, Cody Brown is working very fast this evening. That 5-pitch walk just there to Rudisilli. When it's 3-0, you're taking a little bit walk off the mound. Gather yourself before that next pitch, and he did that. But he lost Rudisilli, but now he's working ahead here against Watley.
So Watley takes the 0-2. It slides outside. Count now 1-2 on the right-hander. Watley out of Wright State, where he played his college years. He was the 2016 most valuable player, so clearly a reason he is up here playing in this USPBL. But mentioned a couple of times so far through this season, what a job this USPBL has done, not only from a fan entertainment perspective, but also between the lines as well. 20 players through the first 2 seasons getting their major league call-up as Kevin Watley swings and fouls off into the mitt of Chris Allen. He'll go down to complete the strikeout. 1 man on over there at first is Rudisilli, but Watley goes down for out number 1 via the swing and miss.
Yeah, Andy Appleby, when he started this league in the inaugural season, he was just hoping about get 3 or 4 players at most called up to the majors. Just to have 20 players through 2 seasons get called up to the majors is absolutely mind-blowing, and the crowd is filled here. You just love to see the USPBL thrive, and especially in this environment here at Jimmy John's Field.
So now Gunnar Buhner standing in, the third baseman. He fouls off the first opportunity he sees, and part of the reason that this league has had so much success is because of the delivery value system that this league has implemented, trying to develop our players. And we are known as an independent league, but we want to call ourselves a developmental league, as that is our job here, to develop these players. As Buhner looks at a ball that almost gets a piece of them, the count even at 1-1, but that's exactly what this league's meant for. You get the players better, you move them on to better baseball, and eventually more guys will come in, and it's kind of just the exact definition of what this league is. It gets players better, and it moves them on to play at a higher level, as Buhner looks at, I believe, a called strike there to bring the count, looks at ball 2, as over there on first base, Cody Rudisilli almost getting picked off. Nice heads-up play there by Chris Allen to keep the runner on his toes.
Yeah, back to the developmental league part of this situation here at the USPBL. We talked to Kieran McKenzie, the starting pitcher for the Birmingham Beavers, on Mother's Day. And, he came back for his second season because he said that they want him to develop a slider, develop his changeup a little bit more. And we saw Cameron's arm last weekend, and he was just it's got MLB stuff. His velocity's there. You just got to get that third pitch.
Line drive over to the left side where Adrian Guzman will have to make a tough play, but look at that. A tough play turns into 2, and the Utica Unicorns end up getting the 6-4-3 Trico double play and get out of the inning. So they lead it by a score of 2-0 through 1 inning of play. We head to the second. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are through 1 inning of play here in game number 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. Rich Borland here alongside Luke Hammett on your broadcast here on this YouTube channel. As Tyler Palm heads out for his second inning of work, gave up the 2 runs in the top of the first, and now Justin Erlinson stands in here for his first plate appearance of the ball game. The man out of Beaverton, Oregon, looks at a called strike 1 to begin his first at-bat of the night, as Palm rears back, brings a fastball that misses high and inside, evens the count up at 1-1.
You see that late life on that fastball. That one started off right about over the left of the outside corner, but just jumped up on the right side on Earl Anderson's hands. Just missed a little bit high.
So Erlinson fouls off the next opportunity he sees, as that ball was sort of high and inside a little bit, but definitely close enough to be in that strike zone. Erlinson with some of the most wild facial hair I've ever seen. If you're on our site, he's got quite the mustache going on there, but he swings right through the 4th pitch he sees of the at-bat and chases the 1-2 offer up and away from Tyler Palm. 1 up, 1 down here in this top of the second inning. Strikeout number 2 on the night for the man on the mound, Tyler Palm. The first one was to Spencer Ibarra, which ended up turning into an error from the catcher, Thomas Lacongo, but he did not come in to score. The damage was limited. And now my pick to stick, Nico Lolio, stands in here for the Unicorns.
Yeah, a fan favorite here at the USPBL is Nico Lolio. Rich, meet the Unicorns night next Friday night here at the USPBL. If you're a Unicorns fan out there, you walk up to Nico in the concourse and you call him Emilio, because that is his name on the birth certificate. Not many fans know that, but I'm sure that would give Emilio Nico Lolio definitely a big smile on his face.
I mean, you can't really write that. What a name with all 3 of those put together. Emilio Nico Lolio. It just rolls off the tongue, and let's see what Nico Lolio can do here with this 2-0 offer, as he looks at another one. So he's got a favorable 3-0 count here. Now, Luke, you got a game. Your team's up 2-0. It's early in this game. Nobody on base, 1 out. You giving Lolio the green light here?
Nico's a great guy at the plate. I'm not gonna give him the green light here. He's just a great guy. You don't want to give him you don't want to get the bat out of his hands.
No doubt about that. He ends up looking at the 3-0 offer. It finds the strike zone out of the hand of Tyler Palm, as Lolio didn't like something that was going on over there, so he steps out of the box, asks for time from the home plate umpire, Gary Wagenschutz, as we're back ready for the action now. Lolio ends up looking at a close one right there, but earns the base on balls. A one-out walk for Lolio have the Unicorns in motion here in this top of the second inning. So 1 on, 1 out here for the Unicorns in this top of the second inning. They lead it 2-0 as Adrian Guzman stands in now for the Unicorns. The action we've seen from Guzman so far this season, not much to show for. He had a couple of groundouts to his credit, and he was hit by a couple different pitches back against these same hoppers in the last time these two teams met.
Yeah, he got hit twice that ball game. You know, definitely pretty sore after that one because Devin Alexander, he's got a power arm as well for the Hoppers. So Guzman was definitely icing after that game in the clubhouse.
Guzman looks at another one here. The count now 2-0 in his favor. Guzman, the number 9 hitter in this Utica lineup. That's where he's been every time he's had an opportunity. As he takes a cut at this 2-0 offer, fouls it off, and it goes out of play. But it takes a lot for a baseball to get out of the foul area. We've mentioned a couple of times in the broadcast over the years how Jimmy John's is set up here. You got your normal field of play, which is an average baseball field in between the lines. But as far as the foul ground area in front of the dugouts, in front of the stands, and in between the stands and the field of play, a lot of area to move around. I always compare it to the Oakland Coliseum of the Oakland A's. Just a lot of room for action and plays to be made. And it gives the thrill and I guess I should say some fireworks sometimes with theatrics, players diving around, players reaching out for baseballs that are just out of the reach of their grasp. But I mentioned fireworks as we do have our first fireworks night of this season here at Jimmy John's Field. Our first opportunity was unfortunately rained out a week ago when two teams tried to match up, but just the weather forecast was not playing its part there for the USPBL. So it will be the first fireworks night of the season here tonight. Hoping the fans stick around for that, as that is quite the spectacle. Luke, have you ever seen the fireworks here at Jimmy John's Field?
I have not seen them because this is my, one of my first weekends here. I was never at a game here before I started my internship here at Jimmy John's Field. I was never at a game, so getting my first game day experience was just absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see the fireworks and what the team puts on for us tonight.
All first class here at Jimmy John's Field as Guzman offers at that 3-2 pitch, but he can't get much wood on it. Pops one up into shallow left side of the infield where the shortstop, Kevin Watley, will catch that one with ease. A nice at-bat from Guzman, but he doesn't get the result that he would have liked. So 2 outs here now for the Unicorns as we head back to this top of the Utica lineup as Carter Grote is getting ready to step up for his second time here this evening.
Grote reached on that error as he tapped one over to Sebastian Diaz, which led to an RBI double from Jimmy Latona. So let's see if Grote can get something going here for the Unicorns here in the second inning.
Carter Grote came in to score the first run of the ball game as he reached with that error, like you mentioned, Luke. The Furman University Conference Player of the Year in 2016, getting his second opportunity of the evening. Looks at called strike one from home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz. So a nice job here from Palm to get ahead of the batter with 2 outs and a man on. Palm with the long set, keeping Lolio honest over there at first base. And this one in the dirt. Nice stop there from Thomas Lacongo to keep the runner at bay over there at first.
Yeah, Palm trying to keep the ball low, trying to get a ground ball, and try not to give Carter Grote anything to hit, especially with the big-time bat and Dylan Sprague in the on-deck circle.
The 1-1 pitch to Grote. He thought about it, but holds up on the offer. This count now 2-1 in his favor. Dylan Sprague in the on-deck circle. He flew out to center field back in the first inning as he awaits his turn. Carter Grote gets out of the way of that fastball, I should say, as he was nearly hit right there. The count now 3-1 in his favor. The runner on first is Lolio. Doesn't have much speed to his credit. He's more known for the bat, but he's over there on first base, not going anywhere. The 3-1 pitch, as Carter Grote thought he might have been moving over to first, but he's not going anywhere, as home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz calls a strike, and the count now is full here, so a payoff pitch will ensue, and Lolio will be on the move as the count is 3-2 with 2 outs here. The 3-2 pitch lofted over to the right side. Let's see if any of the players can make a play. You got Cameron Coons, Josh McAdams, and Sebastian Diaz all ranging towards that right field corner, but just out of the way of all three of them there. Perfectly placed protection from Carter Grote.
Yeah, Josh McAdams for the Diamond Hoppers, he's definitely a utility kind of guy. He caught opening night. He struggled behind the plate. So the beautiful thing about the utility guys is, if they're not feeling it one day, you can put them somewhere else. Just give them a better view of the ball game, and McAdams gets to start in right field tonight.
Yeah, McAdams struggled a little bit behind the plate in his first start at the dish, but he will get a ball hit towards his way in right field. Can he make it? No, it's not. That ball falls in short. He actually overruns it as well, and the runner sliding into second with some speed is Carter Grote. He reaches base safely for the second time here tonight as Nico Lolio moves up 180 feet. He's over there at third.
Yeah, that's just a perfect example of how to be a leadoff hitter. Carter Grote just taught us some great prime baseball right there in his at-bat. He worked the count full. He fouled off a few pitches, then just found some open grass out there in right field. Josh McAdams giving him a step out there in right, and Carter Grote made him pay, and he hustled into second base, diving in head first, and now Dylan Sprague, definitely a big-time bat. A single scores 2 here.
So a couple of unicorns on the pond. You don't see that too often, as Tyler Palm throws his first offer to Sprague, which misses inside here. You do have a base open, but you got that big fella in the 3 spot on deck in Dan Ward. Last thing you want to do is load the bases with 2 outs for that big fella. So got to imagine here Tyler Palm going after the batter as he throws a backdoor off-speed pitch that looked like it might have entered from up here, but just late was that breaking ball. The count stays 2-0.
Yeah, last thing you want to do here is put Dylan Sprague on first base with Dan Ward lurking in the on-deck circle. Just a big-time bat, displays a lot of power.
As this 2-0 pitch to Sprague misses high, the catcher Thomas Lacongo was thinking about offering to second base where Carter Grote's standing, keeping him honest over there. But Tyler Palm with 24 strikes, 18 balls already here in this second inning. Not sure how long his night will last, as he's gotten into a couple of these 3-0 counts. Not the most friendly way to go about it here, as this big fella is struggling here compared to his 5-inning outing in his first start with this Eastside team. The 3-1 pitch, fastball down the heart of the plate. Not sure where Dylan Sprague was thinking about going, as that one will bring the count here full with 2 outs.
Yeah, he's just trying to get himself a call there, try to get. He knows who's behind him. He knows that he needs to get on base somehow, some way. And Sprague just tried to confuse the home plate umpire, just try to get a call there for Dan Ward, but the 3-hitter behind him.
Sprague 1 for 8 coming into play today. He is 0 for 1 on the afternoon with a fly out to center field back in the first, but his second at-bat in as many innings, he gets rung up on back-to-back pitches. He didn't think he got called on, but in fact he does. Dylan Sprague goes down via the look for the third and final out, but the Unicorns still out in front here, 2-0 over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. We head to the bottom half of the second. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to this home half of the second inning. Utica Unicorns out in front of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers by a score of 2-0. Cody Brown back out to make his second inning of work as the first batter, Josh McAdams, taking advantage of the first pitch he sees. And the first hit of the night for the Diamond Hoppers comes off the bat of the cleanup hitter.
Can't ask for anything better. If you're Paul Nochi out of Josh McAdams, first pitch swinging, lining one right back up the box. So that's a great sight for Josh McAdams, and now bringing up the best power hitter in the game, Chris Mangus.
It just goes to show you how critical and crucial it is for the leadoff man to get on base. Let's see if Chris Mangus can make his teammates look well as he looks at ball number one that misses outside. And we saw the reaction from Cody Brown after he gave up that leadoff single to McAdams. Not sure if it was because he misplaced where he wanted to put that baseball or if it was because he knew the guy that was coming up to the plate next in Chris Mangus. You at least think that if maybe you retire McAdams to start off the inning, that can lead to maybe another out against Chris Mangus, but already a man on base, and now Mangus has worked the count 2-0 in his favor. Not an ideal spot here for the Unicorns. As this ball's fouled off, Mangus making contact with it, but not Goodwood, as the count now goes to 2-1 on the big fella.
Yeah, I'm sure Cody Brown, when he was heading back out to the mound, he looked at the Unicorns lineup to see who he was going to face, and he saw Chris Mangus out there, and he definitely wanted to get McAdams out, especially with the power, especially a 2-run lead if you're the Corns. So you wanted to get McAdams out there.
As Mangus fouls one off into the protective netting behind home plate here. Mangus even now at the count 2-2. Mentioned he was the NAIA All-American for Indiana South Bend when he was playing there. The man out of Niles, Michigan, a hometown hero for this Eastside Diamond Hoppers team. The 2-2 pitch, fastball out of the zone, high and inside. Mangus just has to turn his head and get ready for the next one here. It's Meet the Hoppers night at the ballpark, also Xfinity Fireworks Friday, so let's see what Chris Mangus can do to try and get these Hoppers back in this ball game. The payoff pitch about to ensue. Cody Brown with the pitch, Mangus with the cut. This one will stay foul, though, as Carter Grote ranges in to make the play, but we'll do it all over again here as that one stays outside the lines.
A great at-bat here from Chris Mangus. He's working the count against Cody Brown. He knows that McAdams is on first base. He knows that he's got some sort of speed, excuse me. So Mangus just put a ball in the outfield. McAdams could definitely swipe to third on a base hit here.
So the runner thinking about going, but it won't matter. Mangus looks at ball four. McAdams now in scoring position, but not an ideal start to this second inning if you're Cody Brown and the Unicorns, especially after that remarkable first inning with the leadoff walk that turned into a strikeout and a 6-4-3 double play.
Yeah, he faced the minimum there despite the leadoff walk. He got the big-time strikeout back in the first inning and got the ground ball that he desperately needed there. So, Cody Brown has shown efficiency through his first two outings. This inning off to a sluggish start, but let's see how he can get Gabe Gunter here from the left side.
So Gabe Gunter, like you heard there from Luke, standing in now with a great opportunity for Team Eastside as he cuts and misses against the first offer he sees from Cody Brown. But McAdams over there on second, reached on the single. Mangus at first, reached on the walk. Gabe Gunter, who had batted near the top of the order in the first couple of games for this Eastside team, but down in the lineup now in this sixth spot as he looks at ball one to even the count up at 1-1.
Cody Brown looking for a ground ball on the right side of the infield, preferably to Dylan Sprague over at second base to get the easy double play here.
Gunter protecting and fouling one off into the netting behind us over and to our left, but Gabe Gunter coming into play today, just 1 of 7, did have an RBI in his one hit, so he can show he can do it. He's just not done it as of late, but like we mentioned, a great opportunity here for him and this Eastside Diamond Hopper team as the tying run stands over there at first. Brown the pitch, Bender that falls inside and low, evens the count up at 2-2.
Yeah, Rich, you mentioned that Gunter's got a little pop in him. Back in our simulated game that we had here before the season, Gunter left the ballpark. He hit that thing just over our 395 sign out in center field. So definitely a lot of power in Gabe Gunter.
As Gunter hits a high fly ball, it's going to be in that tough area where all three players just couldn't get to it. And in fact, this one will get out of play near our party patio area down that left field sideline. And now's a good time to mention we have plenty of open space and availability this season here with group outings. We can have your all-inclusive party patio area reserved here today. Just call us at 248-601-2400 to reserve your space. If you'd like to talk to me personally, my extension is 141 at the office. But it's a great showing here at Jimmy John's Field. Plenty of fan entertainment and great baseball. And right there, nice job from Cody Brown. Gets Gabe Gunter to chase after one. And he looked a little bit indecisive. He wasn't sure if he wanted to hold back or if he wanted to go after it. Just the perfect art of deception there from the right-hander Cody Brown.
Yeah, it's a big timeout if you're Cody Brown, bringing up the leading run to the plate in Cameron Coons. That big out against Gabe Gunter, that's huge. Now just a ground ball gets Cody Brown out of this inning.
So Cameron Coons standing up at the plate for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Coons on the first pitch he sees, fouls one off and out of play. Cameron Coons, the first baseman out of Albertville, Alabama. Probably not as hot as he would like it up here in Michigan, but the weather's turning around. Had an unfortunate rain out in our first game of the 2018 USPBL season, but it's been great ever since then. Coons fouling off another one here. He's quickly worked himself into a hole down here 0-2, but runners on first and second. Still here for this Eastside team. McAdams at second, Mangus over there at first. One out on the board. The 0-2 pitch fouled off here once again. Coons continuing to protect here, but you got to imagine Cody Brown's going to eventually drop something in there that is out of the strike zone, as everything he's sort of thrown to Coons has been right around there.
Yeah, Chris Allen's got to be a wall back there. Expecting a power slider here from Cody Brown. Chris Allen's got to block this ball in the dirt.
As Coons continues to fight here, another foul ball off of that lumber in his hands, really making Cody Brown work here. Cody Brown at 33 pitches so far through this inning and a third of work, but he's got some damage on the bases that he's got to clear up here. The 7, 8, 9 hitters in line as Coons steps out of the box to adjust something, steps back in though. Sebastian Diaz standing on the on-deck circle for the Diamond Hoppers. The 0-2 pitch missing, high and outside. Coons looked it all the way into the mitt of Chris Allen as he wanted to make sure that he got a good look at that pitch. Brown gives a long look over there at second to McAdams, and the 1-2 pitch, Coons fouls off, and it looks like we might have heard a little bit of lumber crack down there. It looks like somebody's going to need a new piece of plywood.
Yeah, Coons making his way back down to the east side dugout to pick up a new stick, and you got to be thinking, you know, in the pros you get unlimited bats. Down here, you wonder if he's going to go to a teammate's bat here, as the his teammate gives him his bat. In the USPBL, you don't get as many bats. It's not as luxurious as the MLB, but we make do as Coons just picks up a bat in the dugout, and we'll continue play here in a second.
Now let's see if this new piece of wood works better for Coons. He's seen 5 pitches here in this at-bat, 4 of them 4 strikes. He's down in the count here 1-2, but he's done a nice job of staying alive in the count here against the right-hander Cody Brown, and he keeps his at-bat alive as he hits a ground ball over to the left side where Carter Grote over to the second baseman, Dylan Sprague. They get the out at second, but Sprague throwing one past the first baseman, Dan Ward, and just like that, Josh McAdams comes in to score. for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It's 2-1.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted from Cody Brown. Get the ground ball, potential double play ball, but Coons beat that one out. Rich, I don't think even a good throw from Sprague would have gotten Coons because he was busting down the line, but the wild throw will score a run for the Hoppers.
Yeah, no error on the board, so we're going to make that one known as a fielder's choice. The runner, McAdams, of course, coming in to score there on that throw. And now Sebastian Diaz coming up to the plate for this Eastside team. Sebastian, on the season, not the greatest of numbers for the right-hander. Diaz on the year still looking for his first hit of the 2018 USPBL season. Diaz was the 9-hole hitter in the first game between these two teams, where he was pinch hit for by Chris Mangus in that 9th inning, where Mangus hit the pinch hit home run. But the Unicorns were very out front. It was already 13-2 at that point. Mangus made it 13-3, but Sebastian Diaz trying to work his way up in this Eastside lineup, but it's not going to work well for him there. He goes down in the count 0-2 and then looks at called strike 3 to end the second inning. The Unicorns get the Hoppers get a run here in this home half of the second inning, but the Unicorns lead it still 2-1. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're through 2 innings of play here in game number 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. Unicorns out in front of the Diamond Hoppers by a score of 2-1, but like I mentioned with my broadcast partner Luke Hammett here for this game number 4, and unlike some of the other broadcasters so far throughout this season, those guys have done all color as I have taken the play-by-play reins here for the 2018 season, but part of having some of our broadcast interns up here, they want the opportunity to call play-by-play. I am not going to be the man to stop them. So for innings 3 and 4 here now, Luke Hammett, take the lead, my friend.
Thanks, Rich. I really appreciate the opportunity to call play-by-play for this wonderful game of baseball. As jumping on first pitch as Dan Ward sends one down the right field line, sliding as McAdams, not going to get there. That one's going to drop in foul. 0-1 now on Dan Ward.
Yeah, Dan Ward, one of the biggest guys in this USPBL. Mentioned he's got a home run already to his credit this season, and he can really do damage with that baseball bat. You try and get him on base, or get him up to the plate, with runners on, but leading off here in this third inning, an opportunity for him to try and get on base.
You see the respect that Dan Ward has as he shoots one through the hole. Knocked down by Cameron Coons. Making the play at second base was excuse me. The second baseman is Sebastian Diaz for the Hoppers. He makes a fantastic play with the bare hand after Coons knocks it down. Gets Dan Ward by half a step for the first out here in the third inning.
Yeah, what a showing of the athleticism there. Diaz had ranged over to his left, and the first baseman over there, Cameron Coons, thought about trying to get that baseball, could not, and then a nice job by Palm to go over there and cover the bag. So Dan Ward, who's known for his power, doesn't have the most speed coming out of that box, part of the reason he got put out right there, but now Jimmy Latona stands in.
A wicked curveball there by Tyler Palm to get Latona to swing right through it. 0-2 now the count. Latona had an RBI double in his last at-bat. Credited them with their first run of the ball game. Palm's 0-2 is ground ball to shortstop. That is Adrian Guzman. Or no, excuse me. That's Kevin Watley out there at shortstop. Will fire across the diamond to retire Jimmy Latona for the second out here in the third inning.
So 2 up, 2 down for the Utica Unicorns. They had the 2 runs in the initial top of the first inning, courtesy of an error and a double. And then in the bottom of the second, the Hoppers tacked on a run of their own. That's where we sit here right now as Spencer Ibarra stands in with 2 outs and nobody on in the third.
Palm airmails a fastball outside. 1-0 now, misses one high. 2-0 now on Spencer Ibarra. Ibarra in his last at-bat struck out swinging against Tyler Palm. Palm leans in, blasts a fastball right by Ibarra for 2-1. Or no, that one missed high. Oh no, Gary, the scoreboard reads 3-0 here at Jimmy John's Field, but Gary called it a strike behind the dish, so it's 2-1 now as Palm does a changeup low and away, gets the benefit of the doubt. 3-2 now. Here's the pitch. Ball outside, run the count full. 3-2 now on Spencer Ibarra.
Ibarra leading this Unicorn team in a couple different offensive categories. He's got 3 hits to his credit. He's got 1 home run and 3 RBIs on the season. All good for team leads.
Line drive in the gap. That one's going to get down and go all cut off by Rudelli with that speed out in the center to hold Ibarra to a long single.
And we've talked about it time and time again. The foot speed of Cody Rudelli has not only limited guys to singles, but he's turned base knocks into putouts here defensively for the Diamond Hoppers. And even though they're starting their season off not on technically the right foot, down 0-2 to start this season, Cody Rudelli has been a bright spot here for the Diamond Hoppers.
Yeah, he saved a double and an easy scoring situation for the Unicorns, holding Ibarra to that single. That one looked like it was going to the wall. Now batting is Chris Allen as he slaps one on the third baseline foul. So that's going to run the count to 0-1 with 2 down. Runner on first, that's Spencer Ibarra.
Yeah, Chris Allen, the Louisville, Kentucky native, had 16 appearances for the Unicorns back in 2017. 6 hits and 34 at-bats, 9 walks to 12 strikeouts for the right-hander.
Line drive the other way, that's going to get down. McAdams will cut it off. Ibarra on his horse to third as Chris Allen will cruise into second with a double. The play will be cut off by Cameron Coons to hold Ibarra at third. It's a 2-out double for Chris Allen.
A nice piece of hitting there by Chris Allen to take the baseball the opposite way. Did exactly what he was supposed to do with that pitch. And now the Unicorns, who are already up here in this ballgame 2-1, continue with a 2-out threat. A couple of runners on the corners. Or excuse me, a runner on second and third now as Allen is over there at second with that double.
With Justin Erlandson coming up now for the Utica Unicorns, you got to be thinking a single will score 2, especially with Chris Allen's speed out on second base. trying to jump on Tyler Palm here in the third inning. Palms blows a fastball right by Erlandson. 0-1 now the count on the Utica Unicorns center fielder tonight. Struck out in his first at-bat. Up here with a big situation with 2 down here in the top of the third inning. Fastball misses away.
It's a funny thing. We look at that name and you compare it to another famous baseball name, especially here in the state of Michigan. Originally we thought it was Justin Erlanderson, but it's just Justin Erlandson. But seeing all those letters put together, it can definitely confuse you.
Erlandson sets a fly ball to right field. Rudelli will cut it off to make the play right in front of the warning track. Looked like McAdams was under it. Rudelli comes in and makes the play himself to retire the side and end the Utica threat. They threaten, do not score. We head to the home half of the third. You have the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field, where we're live with a matchup between the Utica Unicorns and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. The Unicorns hold on to a slim 2-1 lead over the divisional rival Eastside Diamond Hoppers, excuse me. Cody Brown back out onto the hill for the third inning of work here against the Hoppers. Cody Brown has been solid tonight. I mean, he's working quickly. He's been efficient tonight.
Yeah, the man out of Flushier, Texas, faces off against Tommy Lukongo here, but in his first start back on May the 12th, just 6 short days ago, against these Eastside Diamond Hoppers, Cody Brown had went 4 innings, didn't give up any runs, had 4 hits against him, as he drops a bender in right there to get Lukongo quickly down in the count here, 0-2. But, yeah, I've liked what I've seen here from the right-hander Cody Brown. He's nothing flashy. He gets his job done, and that's exactly what you want here if you're Jim Essien and these Unicorns.
Ground ball to second. That's Dylan Sprague. Scoops it, fires to first to retire Tommy Lukongo by about 3 steps. So a very quick at-bat for Cody Brown. Gets a ground ball. Out number 1 here in the third inning.
So now back to the top of this East Side lineup. We've talked quite a bit about Cody Rudelli from a defensive standpoint, but we haven't really talked about how he has been able to use his feet at the top of this East Side lineup. Of course,
as he sends a line drive, that's going to get down in right field for a base hit for Rudelli. First pitch swinging for Rudelli. This is the second time he's reached base. He reached on a walk and now a single to add to the resume for Cody Rudelli.
It's exactly what you want there, on base for the second time here tonight as that leadoff hitter. Of course, batting second here in this third inning with Thomas Lukongo leading off. But whether you're leading off the inning or leading off the game or just simply at the top of the lineup, it is your job to get on base, to let the big guys behind you get you over and get you in, as Kevin Watley, who does have 1 home run to his credit, so far this season. Holds off on the first pitch he sees. He's ahead 1-0.
Rudelli, the perfect definition of a table setter in the top of the lineup for the Hoppers, gets on base and lets the big guys take care of the business and let them drive in all those runs. As Cody Brown delivers a pitch to Kevin Wally, who skies one towering fly ball in the left field. Coming on for the Unicorns, that's Jimmy Latono to make the play. Another easy out for Cody Brown. Rudelli retreats back to first base. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. That's going to bring up Gunnar Buhner.
This is a good opportunity here for Cody Brown to have a really short inning. He had only 3 batters face off against him in the first, but a lot of pitches were thrown to those 3 batters. And then in the previous second inning, a leadoff single combined with a walk led to a run scoring for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. But Cody Brown doing a good job to keep his pitches limited here and work ahead of some of these hitters.
As Brown pounds a fastball right down the plate. 0-1 now on Gunnar Buhner. Keeping a close eye on Cody Rudelli as he's a sizable lead out there at first base. As Gunnar Buhner calls time. Sets himself up as Cody Brown is taking a little bit too long for the liking of Buhner. Brown ahead of the count, 0-1. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. That's going to be kicked off the base at second. They hit the second base as that's going to be Adrian Guzman to cut it off to hold Rudelli at second. That one was heading up the middle anyway, but that's going to be a base hit for Gunnar Buhner.
Yeah, and you don't see that happen too often. You really wonder. You saw Rudelli, who we know is known for his speed. He had a good cut that led him into second base. He got a good jump over there from first, but we saw that ball kick off of that second base bag. It actually reached the grass in that left field area, but a nice job of Adrian Guzman to keep the runner, the speed demon, Cody Rudelli, over there at second base with 2 outs here.
That's where Josh McAdams, who singled in his last at-bat against Cody Brown, as Brown misses with the fastball inside. 1-0 with 2 runners on. A prime situation for these Hoppers to tie this game or even take the lead, especially with Josh McAdams in that 4 slot with Chris Mangus lurking on deck, who shoots one line foul left side of the infield. 1-1 now on Josh McAdams, the Hoppers right fielder.
Yeah, so you can't see it on the actual YouTube feed here, but open dugouts both down the first and third base line. There is a protective wall that the players lean over, but definitely still got to keep your wits about you and pay attention in both respective dugouts here.
As Brown pounds another fastball, this one missing high. 2-1 in the count, favor of Josh McAdams. Brown set with the 2-1. Fastball skied, foul, back in the seats. 2-2 now on McAdams.
And it's one of the most important parts when it comes to the art of pitching, and that is attacking the running game here if you're Cody Brown on the mound. Not only do you have to worry about the man at the plate, Josh McAdams, who had already singled and scored off of you in the previous second inning, but you got to keep an eye out for the guys on the bases as well. They are just as important as the man up at the plate, and Cody Brown doing a good job of mixing up his timing, mixing up his motion out there on the mound, and we'll see what these base runners try and do here.
2-2, ground ball back up the middle. Guzman ranges over to his left, makes the play, gets the out at second base. Hoppers threaten, do not score. We head to the top half of the 4th inning. You have the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field. We are live on YouTube Live with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers and the Utica Unicorns. We have a quick story about Nico Lolio. Rich, take it away.
Yeah, so there is a cool thing that Tony Paul of the Detroit News is doing this summer with the USPBL. Every week, Tony Paul has an interview called Get to Know Me as a part of this 2018 USPBL season. And in week number 2 here, Nico Lolio was the player of choice. Let's run through some of these questions here that Tony Paul had for the rising star of the Utica Unicorns. He was asked if he was a teenager in the 90s. He would no doubt have been in a boy band. You can clearly tell with the hair there, that sort of fits. He was asked when he was little what he wanted to be, and that was Tommy from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as Lolio knocks a base hit through that shift hole over there on the left side of the diamond. Lolio reaching base safely to lead off this top of the 4th inning. But before we go back into this next batter, Adrian Guzman, a couple more questions here from Tony Paul with Nico Lolio. Nico Lolio, he's got a major sweet tooth. He says Twix are his weaknesses. And then if you've seen Nico, you mentioned his hair, his luscious locks. He was asked if he could be compared to a superhero. He would choose Thor from the Avengers. A pretty good comparison there, I would say, for Lolio. But just a really cool, fun thing that both the USPBL and the Detroit News have worked on here this summer and as we go on out throughout the season. But foul ball off the bat of Guzman reaches the seats here. And then one of the other cool things we found out about Nico Lolio as a part of that interview with Tony Paul in the Detroit News, he's actually the youngest of 6. He's got 3 older brothers and 2 older sisters. So Nico Lolio, who's got that charismatic charm throughout our time here that we've seen him with the USPBL, you know, being the youngest of 6, I'm sure that was tough to manage, but he definitely shows that he's got the heart and mindset here for this league.
Grumble the third, and the Diamond Hoppers turn a quick double play. That is huge for Tyler Palm. It was started by Gunnar Buhner. A 5-4-3 double play for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Brought to you by Trico.
There you go. Got our Trico double play here. Trico being one of our sponsors for the last couple of seasons. So another Trico double play. I believe that's our 3rd for the night. I know we had that 6-4-3 put out back in that first initial inning. That was recorded by the Unicorns, and now Carter Grote stands back into the top of this Utica lineup we go.
Fastball outside corner by Tyler Palm will get the benefit of the doubt. 0-1 now on Carter Grote, who doubled in his last at bat. A slider right down the middle, 0-2 now. Quickly working is Tyler Palm. 0-2, 2 outs. Could be the quickest inning of the night for Tyler Palm here as he misses high. So, Rich, Nico says if he had to choose one, he'd be Thor. Who would you choose?
You know, throughout all the characters, I really like the old-fashioned stuff. You know, you got your Superman, you got your Spider-Man. But as far as some of the new ones go, I don't know. I like Thor. Thor's pretty cool. What about you?
I'm an Iron Man kind of guy.
Iron Man, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep, Iron Man all day. As Palm misses low and away, 2-2 now on Carter Grote. The 2-2 is a ground ball to shortstop. That's Kevin Watley, who will throw out Carter Grote to end the top half of the 4th. A quick inning for Tyler Palm. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. You have the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back. We are live at Jimmy John's Field. We head to the bottom half of the fourth inning where Cody Brown is back out on the hill for the Utica Unicorns. Last start against the Diamond Hoppers for Cody Brown, he went 4 innings. Very effective as he is tonight, only giving up 1 run through 3 innings pitched so far. As Chris Mangus, my pick the stick tonight, will start things off for the Hoppers as he sends a ground ball, high chopper, third base side, foul. So trying to jump on Cody Brown here early is Chris Mangus.
Yeah, Mangus, we mentioned with a USPBL record, he had 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. But so far today, we mentioned he had reached on a base on balls, a full count pitch that it was back in the second inning. But on some of these cuts I'm seeing him take as he looks at called strike 2 here to bring this count to 0-2, he's starting to swing a little bit early on some of these pitches. He's opening out sort of in front a little too early, and might be something that some of these pitchers are picking up on.
Now it's 1-2 on Chris Mangus. Yeah, he's definitely earned the respect of a lot of pitchers around the league. Now they're just trying to notice some tweak in his swing, something to exploit against Chris Mangus, but, you know, nothing too easy against this guy. As he sends a slow chopper, Cody Brown will field it himself. Will flip it over to first for out number 1. Doesn't get much easier than that if you're Cody Brown, as JJ, the field general, our golden retriever bat dog, will pick up the bat as he tripped over his own feet. The crowd loves it, but JJ doing a great job out of this season.
I'll tell you what, you know, he stumbled a little bit there, but recovering mightily was JJ, the field general, right there. Just one of the many fun parts of Jimmy John's Field. JJ, one of the newest implements here of the entertainment aspect of the USPBL here in 2018. JJ, the field general, just one of 3 dogs that are affiliated with professional baseball. So sort of a unique experience that the USPBL has to offer, just like many of other entities here at the ballpark.
Yeah, definitely a great sight for the USPBL. A lot of fans out here tonight, as JJ, just another example of why you should be coming out to USPBL. Just a great fan-first environment. It's just a great night of baseball and just a great night of entertainment as the count goes 1-1 on Gabe Gunter.
Yeah, you got JJ, the field general. You got a playground in right field next to the wiffle ball stadium for the kids to experience and have fun with.
Gunter sends a slow chopper. Sprague on the charge. Will field it with the glove and fire to first base for another easy out for Cody Brown. 2 down here for the Diamond Hoppers.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with Cody Brown so far in this half inning of work, both of these ground balls were softly hit. He's pitching to good contact here, and as we say that, we mentioned JJ out there trying to wrestle up some of the baseball bats, and looks like the ADD might have gotten to JJ a little bit there, chasing after God knows what, smelling a bunch of different scents out there at the ballpark. And there we go. Nice job there as he picks up a loose baseball as his backup plan there. Just a fan favorite, warming up to this crowd here mightily here tonight.
Yeah, he was a little bit lost there. The bat was still in the lefty's batter's box as JJ made his trip around the infield.
It's not going to be perfect, but it definitely will be entertaining, that's for sure.
Cameron Kuhn steps in for the Hoppers as he looks at strike 1. Cody Brown pounding the zone with another fastball. Kuhn's reaching a fielder's choice last time around as he swings right through a slider, perfectly placed. That one started at the hands of Cameron Coons, who just dropped right off the table, got him fishing. 0-2 now on Cameron Coons.
Yeah, perfect pitch right there. You start in the zone, fall out. Textbook right there.
Fastball driven center field. That is Erlinson will go over range a few steps back to make the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Cody Brown. We head to the 5th. You have the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field. We are live for the USPBL action on YouTube Live. 2-1 the score. The Unicorns hold on to a slim one-run lead over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as we send back the play-by-play responsibilities back to Rich Borland.
So we're here. Thank you, Luke. In this top of the 5th inning, Utica Unicorns out in front by a score of 2-1. And leading off for the Unicorns in this top half of the 5th inning is Dylan Sprague. Sprague on the night 0 for 2 with a fly out to center field and a strikeout looking to his credit. Sprague down in the count here 0-1 to begin his battle against Tyler Palm, who's out there for his 5th inning of work. Mentioned how Tyler Palm had one start coming into action tonight, and that was against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers back on May the 13th, where he had gone 5 innings. Gave up just 2 hits and 1 walk. Also had 5 strikeouts against the 18 batters that he had faced. Sprague ahead in the count here as he looks at ball 2. Sprague with his 3rd season with the Utica Unicorns, batted .263 last year in the USPBL. The 2-1 pitch, a bender that falls in over the heart of the plate, evens the count up here 2-2 against Sprague.
Yeah, you can tell Dylan is not too pleased with the strike zone tonight. That one nearly hit his back leg and got called a strike anyway.
And this one, as Tyler Palm tries to get Sprague to chase after the 2-2 pitch, but a nice job of Sprague to hold off on that pitch in the dirt. So he'll stay alive for at least one more pitch here. Palm, the windup, the payoff pitch, and Sprague sticks that bat out there, gets just enough of it. You wonder if he let go of that one. It might have been ball 4, but of course with those 2 strikes against him, he was electing to protect there, so we'll have at least one more pitch in this battle.
Yeah, anything close if you're Dylan Sprague, you gotta reach the bat out there, just not trying to get strike 3 called.
As the 3-2 pitch fouled off here once again, Sprague really making Tyler Palm work here in this at-bat. Tyler Palm now, as we take a look at our game live stats, he's got 76 pitches already, 27 balls to 49 strikes. As the payoff pitch will ensue, ground ball over to the right side. It eats up Sebastian Diaz, but he recovers and makes the throw in time to retire Dylan Sprague. Sprague now 0 for 3 on the night, but I'll tell you what, we've seen Sebastian Diaz make a couple of errors so far in this 18 USPBL season, but a really nice job there. Of course, that ground ball hit to his right. He turned that glove over on the backhand, initially lost the baseball, but kept it in his wits, and he ends up getting Dylan Sprague out over there at first base. A nice job to keep the composure there and retire the leadoff batter for the Unicorns. And now the big fella, Dan Ward, stands in here, swings and misses at the first offer he sees.
They've contained Dan Ward tonight. A ground ball to third in his first at-bat and then a strikeout in his second. So Dan Ward has been contained tonight, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Ward, with that power that he's shown so far in this short 2018 USPBL season, he looks at ball 1, the count even here now, as about the exact same pitch was just thrown there. The bender that couldn't fall over the heart of the plate in time. Ward ahead in the count here, 2-1.
The slider's been working very well for Tyler Palm tonight. As you saw, he just couldn't get the call there against Dan Ward.
The 2-1 pitch, fastball on the outer half of the plate, evens the count up at 2-2. Nice pitch there from Tyler Palm to not really give the batter Dan Ward anything good to swing at.
Yeah, pounds the outside corner is Tyler Palm, just trying to keep anything away from Dan Ward as he hacks one foul. Rich, just the swings from Dan Ward, you could tell that he's just been trying to, just get a hold of one. I mean, he's swinging out of his shoes now. You got to limit that swing, especially in 2-2 count.
And in that 2-2 count, staying alive, fouling off a pitch and protecting was Ward. A nice job there. But we are at about the 8:23 mark on our clocks. The sun officially setting, the lights coming up on the diamond as we get our iris fixed up here with the camera. Hope the picture's a little bit better now, but as I say that, the 2-2 pitch, Dan Ward's going to take that one right off that front left shoulder. It looked as if Palm was not trying to hit him there. Of course not in the 2-2 count, but that one just gets away from the right-hander. And now over there standing at first base is Dan Ward with one out.
Now, this is the beautiful part about this Utica Unicorns lineup. Dan Ward reaches base. Now you got to go through Jimmy Latona, who has an RBI double to his resume tonight. So life just got harder for Tyler Palm.
Yeah, we mentioned that Palm in his only other start in this 2018 season went 5 innings strong, didn't give up any runs. Sort of the same story here outside of those 2 runs that have came in to score for the Unicorns. As I say that, Jimmy Latona is retired, hits the fly ball out into shallow right center field where Cody Rudisilli will be making the play. 2 outs here with the runner on first. So now Spencer Ibarra stands in here for the Unicorns. Ibarra on the evening reached on a single back in the 3rd and then reached on an error from the catcher Thomas Lacongo on a drop 3rd strike back in the 1st inning of play. But the Unicorns took the 2-0 lead in the 1st. The Diamond Hoppers got a run in the home half of the 2nd. That's where we stand as of right now. Your score 2-1 here, with a runner on first base, 2 outs on the board here.
It almost seems like Tyler Palm is trying to throw too hard, I guess you could say. He's missing his spots by about 4 to 5 inches as he misses that one inside to Ibarra. You just got to slow your arm motion down. You got to slow down your rotation. Just pound the zone with that power fastball. I mean, he can do it. We've seen it all. We saw it last week. He was pounding the zone with high efficiency, and tonight I guess he's just overthrowing it. It's 3-0 now on Ibarra. You got to slow down your rotation here for your Tyler Palm.
Yeah, really the difference between pitching and just throwing out there. You got to have a plan out there on the bump and a little bit of distractions. We're getting later into this game. Tyler Palm probably nearing the end of his outing as he's now up there in pitches. 56 strikes, 33 balls to his credit. The count 3-1 on the batter, Spencer Ibarra. Ibarra on the season, batting .300 through his first 10 at-bats. He's 3 for 10 coming into play today. He's got a home run and 3 RBIs to his credit here this season. He's got a favorable 3-1 count. Palm with the leg kick, that one missing low and inside. And with a base on balls here with 2 outs, runners now at first and second for the Unicorns. They got a threat going here.
Chris Allen coming up now for the Unicorns, 2 on. He had a double in his last at-bat. Palm just not in a prime situation here for the Hoppers. You're down 1 run. You got 2 runners on with a great bat in Chris Allen. Somehow, some way, he's got to find a way to get out of this inning.
Yeah, there's a man getting loose in that Eastside bullpen. That's number 10, Donald Warner, out of Lovelock, Nevada. We'll give you his stats once he enters the game, if he does in fact do so. Manager Paul Nochi will have to make a decision at some point along in this ball game. Chris Allen, the batter now here for the Unicorns, looking at called strike 1 to begin this at bat. And if you're Tyler Palm, you know, you want to get out of this 5th inning with no runs as you're already down here by 1. Maybe your team can get back in that home half of the 5th, get maybe a run or 2, get you out of the line of getting that loss and maybe turn into a win here. But you got to imagine if you're Tyler Palm, it's either going to be the last inning of work here or maybe one more to his credit as that pitch count continues to rise here now, almost at 90 pitches, as this ball is lofted into center field. Cody Rudisilli picks it up, but rounding third, heading for home is Dan Ward. There's not going to be a play at the plate. Ward beating the throw by a few steps and a slide. An RBI single for Chris Allen brings the score to 3-1 in favor of the Unicorns.
As Paul Nochi makes his way out towards the mound, we'll wonder if this is Palm's night.
And it looks like, in fact, it might be Paul Nochi.
Yeah, Palm's going to plead his case here for sure.
Yeah, and just like that, Tyler Palm is officially done for the afternoon. mentioned, Donald Wannard's going to be coming into pitch. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll give you Palm's final line. And, of course, he is still in charge of the runners on the bases, both Ibarra and Allen. But we'll take a quick break and let you know a little bit about Donald Wannard when we come back. It's 3-1 Unicorns. We're in the middle of the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We sit here in the top of this 5th inning. Utica Unicorns out in front 3-1, but they're still threatening with a couple of base runners on the base pass. And Tyler Palm's night officially done. He goes 4 2/3, gives up 6 hits to his credit, 3 runs, just 1 of them earned. That was the one of Dan Ward in this inning here in the 5th on that RBI single off the bat of Chris Allen. He gives up 2 walks, 3 Ks to his credit, and now he gives way to Donald Wannard here out of Lovelock, Nevada.
Yeah, Don Wannard, this is his 2nd appearance in the 2018 season. We saw him on Mother's Day. He went 1 inning. He gave up 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 Ks. And we mentioned those 2 walks. You put runners on base, just give them the free pass, you know bad things are going to happen, and that's exactly what happened for Don Wannard on Mother's Day.
So a little bit of everything from the right-hander out of Missouri Western State University. The first batter he faces off against here in this 5th inning with 2 outs is Justin Erlinson. Erlinson fouls off the first pitch he sees out of the hand of Don Wannard. Wannard, a nice job to get ahead of the batter here. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Wannard with the 0-1. Fastball there once again. Erlinson was right on it, just didn't get all of it.
Yeah, Wannard, is establishing his fastball here against Erlinson. He's trying to pound the zone with that fastball, then set up that slow curveball against Erlinson. 0-2 the count. Wannard doing a nice job of pounding that fastball on the inside part of the plate.
So a friendly pitcher's count here for Don Wannard. He brings that leg kick up, fake to go home with it, and keeps the runner on second base, Spencer Ibarra, honest over there. A nice job to keep the runners at bay as Wannard gives the quick look to second, comes home with it. That fastball high and just out of the zone, but probably a perfect 1-2 pitch right there from the right-hander. But a better job from Erlinson to lay off of it as that one just missed the zone. The count 1-2 here. Wannard looks back at second once again, comes home with it this time. That ball getting away from the strike zone, but a nice job from Thomas Lukongo to keep it in front of him and keep the runners where they stand.
Nico Lolio on deck for the Unicorns. That's a big bat with the bases loaded. This could be deadly for the Unicorns.
Yeah, if you're Wannard, you definitely want to retire Erlinson here. The 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball that's lined right into the kneecap of Spencer Ibarra. And as the rule book goes, Ibarra automatically out as he tried to escape the baseball running from second to third, but just an unfortunate circumstance as it looked as if Erlinson sort of just hit that ball a little too hard, and unfortunately it comes at the demise of the Unicorns base runner there. So we're through 4.5 innings of play. Unicorns out in front of the Hoppers 3-1. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Borland alongside my partner Luke Hammett here for this game number 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. Back out on the mound for his 5th inning of work is Cody Brown, and sort of right where he left off. He had a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th as well as the 1st, and he starts off Sebastian Diaz with a swing and a miss fastball here to begin this home half of the 5th. 0-1 offer, misses very outside. Count evens up at 1-1. Mentioned how it's Xfinity Fireworks Friday and Meet the Hoppers night at the ballpark. We will have the Westside Woolly Mammoths and these Utica Unicorns battling in tomorrow's contest as Diaz with a hard line drive that goes into the right field party patio area. So the count now 1-2 on the right-hander, but like I mentioned, tomorrow night, first pitch 7:05, Westside versus Utica. It's WCSX Classic Rock Saturday, and also the Cream Tribute Band. And not only that, but it's also Armed Forces Day at the ballpark. And as I say that, Sebastian Diaz with, I believe, his first hit of this, his second hit of the 2018 USPBL season. Sebastian Diaz now 2 of 12 on the season. He was 1 of 10 coming into play tonight, and a nice job there from the second baseman. He had an error in the field and then also struck out looking back in the 2nd inning. So nice to see some positive results for Sebastian Diaz. He's over there at first base now as the number 9 hitter catcher Thomas Lacongo looks as if I thought he might have fouled off that pitch, but that ball was just really inside, actually almost got a piece of him. So the count 1-0 in his favor.
Yeah, after that Diaz hit, Cody Brown has only given up 4 hits. But when he's walking guys, he's getting ground balls. When he's giving up those singles, he's getting more ground balls. So Brown has been efficient. He's getting himself out of those tough jams. And that's why he's only given up 1 run tonight.
Yeah, and only 1 baseball has gone into the outfield. That was a fly out that ended the 4th inning off the bat of Cameron Coons. And as I say that, Sebastian Diaz getting kept honest over there at first base by the catcher Chris Allen, who rifles one down to Dan Ward at first base, but Diaz getting back in time. Tommy Lacongo at the plate. He's ahead in the count here, 2-1. 0 for 1 on the night with a ground out to second base. back in that third inning. He takes a cut at the 2-1 pitch, gets underneath it a little bit, and that one goes into the grandstands here in front of us in the broadcast booth. It's been quite a night for baseball in terms of weather. It was 72 at first pitch here tonight, and the weather has been really, really good throughout the entire ball game. Not sure how the weather is going to cooperate with us tomorrow night, as there is a little bit of rain in the forecast tonight, but the only thing in the forecast for Tommy Lukongo there will be the bench as he goes down swinging and missing for the strikeout. 2 up, 1 down here for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as Diaz remains over there at first base.
Just another example of the efficiency for Cody Brown. He gives up a leadoff single, then bounces back with a big strikeout. Now a ground ball, which he's been getting all night, gets himself out of this inning.
And keeping an eye and keeping tabs on Diaz over there is Chris Allen. Cody Rudisilli now batting for this Eastside Diamond Hopper team as we head back to the top of the order. Rudisilli on the night, yet to be retired, reached on a base on balls to begin the batting for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in the first, and then made it all the way to third after he singled back in the third, but could not come in to score. As he looks at called strike 1 here, now the count even at 1-1. Coming into play tonight, Rudisilli 3 of 10, does have a home run to his credit and 2 RBIs on the season. He's trying to bring in Sebastian Diaz, but it'll have to be quite the hit as Diaz is still standing over there at first base. And Rudisilli chasing after the 1-1 offer. That ball in the dirt, nothing doing there for Rudisilli.
I'm surprised the Hoppers didn't put the hit and run on that last pitch, especially with how the way that Rudisilli is swinging the bat and Diaz's speed out there at first base. I thought it would be a good opportunity for the Hoppers to get a spark going on because they're coming out a little flat here tonight. They're trailing 3-1. Just get someone going. You never know what's going to happen, especially if you get that runner at second base or third base. Get those guys behind you a little bit, some more confidence, and just a base hit would score a run. But Nochi deciding to play it safe. Now 2-2 the count on Rudisilli.
Yeah, you wonder if Diaz will try and force something to happen here on a 2-2 count. It would be a good opportunity to try and take the base as that ball misses in the dirt. Nice eye from Rudisilli, but you wonder maybe Sebastian Diaz could have gotten to second. That ball, in fact, made contact with the dirt. Chris Allen, the catcher, got that baseball right away, but you wonder now the count full on the batter, Rudisilli. Diaz, in fact, is going, and this one, a strikeout at the plate, but they cannot get the complete strike him out, throw him out, as Sebastian Diaz steals second base, but sort of an errant throw there from Chris Allen. Wasn't sure that pitch was right on the border there. The batter at the plate, Rudisilli, was thinking he had ball 4, and, you know, the brain works so fast, but it can't keep up sometimes. You wonder maybe if that call at the plate, you know, Chris Allen realized that he had to make a throw to second as the walk was not called, and you saw it one hop over there to second base. Nothing Dylan Sprague or Adrian Guzman could have done out there. So Diaz is now, in fact, in scoring position. Another tough play here for Guzman. A slow chopper over to the left side, but he makes it look really easy as Kevin Watley is retired via the 6-3 putout. Unicorns end up getting out of that jam. Hoppers don't score any runs in the home half of the 5th. We head to the 6th. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We head to the 6th inning of play. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for the Unicorns here in this top of the 6th inning, but there was a little recognition down on the field right before we got to this 6th inning. Our president and owner, Andy Appleby, presenting a check to the Macomb Township Little League for all they do in the community, actually the largest Little League in the entire nation. Did not know that coming into the play today, but you know what? You learn something new every day, and thanks for Macomb Township Little League coming out, supporting the league, and us giving it right back to them.
That was a little bit of an eye raiser right there. I mean, we looked at each other with the shocked look on our face. I mean, that shocked me actually. I didn't know that about Macomb Township Little League.
Yeah, you know, Little Leagues in the area trying to do everything they can in the community. Having a great recognition here at the ballpark. Just one of many things that you and your group can do to get recognized here at Jimmy John's Field throughout this summer. As Nico Lolio on that 2-1 offer looks at a breaking ball that falls over the heart of the plate. Don Warner fighting back in this count here, evens it up and absolutely just defiles Nico Lolio. My pick the stick for the night is finally retired. He reached on a walk in the second, singled in the third, but Lolio goes down via the K here to begin this 6th inning. Nice job from Don Warner to retire the big fella.
Yeah, that curveball by Warner tied up Nico Lolio. Got inside on the hands of Nico. Nothing much he could do about it. Just kind of a check swing. Great pitch from Don Warner, who's got that Don Trout Willis style rotation here on the mound.
I mean, you got the name, you might as well use it to your advantage. And now Adrian Guzman stands in for the Utica Unicorns. He looks at a called strike to begin this at-bat. 0 for 2 on the night, popped out to the shortstop. Kevin Watley back in the second, and then grounded out into the 5-4-3 double play back in the fourth. So the number 9 hitter for this Utica team trying to improve his stats, and not only that, but keep his team out in front here 3-1 as home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz takes a little bit longer to call that one as the count goes to 2-1. That ball just missing inside.
Yeah, Warner doing a great job of getting that fastball, then mixing in his breaking pitches and misses high there to Guzman. Warner doing an excellent job. Definitely he looks more comfortable out there than he did on Mother's Day against the Beavers, where he gave up those 2 runs. But he definitely looks more comfortable here tonight.
No doubt about that. And as you say that, the 3-1 pitch to Guzman ends up missing the zone. So a 1-out walk for the Unicorns, have them threatening here now. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order in Carter Grote.
Grote has a double tonight with Guzman in first. He can run a little bit. So can Grote. So, again, we didn't see it last inning from the Hoppers, but a potential hit and run here with Carter Grote.
Yeah, a good opportunity. We haven't really seen a lot of men in motion before, you know, a batter receives the ball at the plate, but a nice opportunity here. You got the number 9 hitter in Guzman, the shortstop. I haven't known Adrian Guzman at all, but a shortstop batting in a 9-hole, you would imagine he has some type of speed to his credit, and with just the 1 out here, you never know. But with the Utica Unicorns leading this game 3-1, I don't see him taking any chances they don't have to, as Carter Grote swings and misses at that 1-1 offer, gets nothing out of it. The count now 1-2 in favor of Warner. But what a prime situation here for the Diamond Hoppers to try and get 2 with 1, as that ball missing just outside. But we saw Chris Allen of the Unicorns try and pick off a couple of runners for the Hoppers, as now Thomas Lacongo doing the same here, trying to keep Adrian Guzman honest over there at first base. And as that happened, we didn't even realize Carter Grote had struck out looking. Second strikeout of the inning for Don Warner. And Luke, I don't know about you. I don't know if he went around or if that ball was just called strike 3 by the home plate umpire. But either way, Carter Grote officially headed back to the dugout. He gives way to Dylan Sprague here of this Utica team. Sprague, like we mentioned, in his 3rd season with the Utica Unicorns, was a champion back in the inaugural 2016 USPBL season. But Sprague still looking for his first hit of the night, 0 for 3 in this one. Flew out to center in the first, struck out looking in the second, and then grounded out to second base to begin the fifth inning of play. But he's worked himself into a favorable count here now. He's ahead 3-0 against Don Warner. You got 2 outs, a runner on first base. Last thing you want to do if you're Warner here is put a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, but that is exactly what he will do. The 3-0 pitch looked all right from up here in the booth, but you got to earn your strike zone in this league, and Warner, after already going down in the count 3-0 there, he will not get the call on the 3-0 pitch. Runners now at first and second with 2 outs here for the Unicorns, and a tough bat coming up to the plate now in Dan Ward.
Yeah, Ward is 0 for 3 tonight. Been contained. Palm and Warner have both been mixing in their off speed very effectively tonight, trying to keep Ward off balance. Let's see how they attack him here, especially with that first pitch curveball right there.
You set him up right there, Luke, as that bender absolutely crushes Ward. He can't make any contact on it, and the swing was also not very pretty. He's down in the count here now, 0-1. Another bender that is made contact with here now, out of the field of play over near that third base box. Gets a piece of the third base coach, but he looks to be all right. As we keep our attention over there to the left side of the diamond, a couple of arms getting loose now in that Eastside bullpen, trying to get a couple of numbers as we speak here with our binoculars up in the booth. Warner sets, delivers the 0-2, another breaking ball. This one probably got a little bit too much of the strike zone for Donald Warner's liking. The last guy you want to leave something over the heart of the plate for is Dan Ward, but he couldn't take advantage of it. Warner survives, at least for now.
Yeah, if you're going to throw that curveball to Dan Ward, you're going to want to bury it, not giving Ward any chance to hit this ball out of the stadium.
And as we say that, Ward continuing to battle here, fouls off a pitch to remain alive in the count. Finally got that number for us here, who's warming up in that Eastside bullpen. That's actually number 40, Alex Vargas out of Freeport, New York. Alex Vargas in the previous game for the Hoppers pitched an inning of relief, had 1 strikeout, didn't give up any hits, walks, or runs in his outing, so wouldn't be shocked to see him come into the game if Warner runs into any more trouble here, as Ward, continuing to stay alive, fouls off back-to-back pitches.
Yeah, Vargas has been great out of that Hopper bullpen. We've seen him twice this year. Both times have been very effective. And he's got that power fastball that ranges from 95 miles an hour. So I expect to see Alex tonight.
Ward staying alive, battling, and getting the ball in the field of play, but a fielder's choice is going to be called right there. Gunnar Buhner with the routine ground ball hit his way. He relays it over to Sebastian Diaz at second base for the third and final out. A couple of base runners reach for the Unicorns in the inning, but they can't get any runs out of it. We head to the home half of the 6th inning, where the Hoppers will try and get some runs and get back at this 3-1 lead for the Unicorns. So we'll take a quick break, but we'll be right back. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the bottom of the sixth we go. Rich Borland alongside Luke Hammett for your broadcast. Cody Brown, who had started for the Utica Unicorns, day is officially done. He goes 5 innings strong, gives up 4 hits in the effort, just the 1 earned run back in the second inning. He had 2 walks and then had 5 strikeouts to his credit, and now he gives way to the left-hander, Michael Scamonico.
Yeah, Scamonico, we saw him opening night against these Hoppers. He went 1 inning. He struck out the side. So very effective for Scamonico, and an interesting stat here. He changed his windup 3 different times in that 1 inning of work. He's got that Johnny Cueto kind of style, and it's great for the fans, and it's great for us to watch.
Yeah, very deceptive delivery. You mentioned he's got a little bit of that shimmy shake like Johnny Cueto, and then he actually kind of implements that Clayton Kershaw a little bit where you bring the leg up, you bring it down, and then you kind of kick it forward. Definitely a deceptive type of delivery here. Certainly part of the reason he had 3 strikeouts in his only outing here in 2018, but not the best start as he's got a 3-0 count here against Gunnar Buhner. Buhner on the 3-0, electing to hold off, probably for the best. Got to imagine if there's a situation where you have a 3-0 count, the last time that you're going to get a green light is probably when you are leading the inning off here. The 3-1 pitch to Gunnar Buhner, fastball back in that zone, swung on and missed. Buhner chases after it, so a nice job here from Scamonico to work back in this count, and if he can win this battle, that'll be a great lift here for the Unicorns. Last thing you want to do with just a small 2-run lead as we make our way towards the latter part of this baseball game. Scamonico having to stop his windup as Buhner calls time just at the last second there, so kind of messing with the rhythm of Scamonico there was Buhner. A nice job, and it will not affect Scamonico as he forces Buhner to chase after one, and he's continuing his 2018 campaign right where it left off from last game. 4 strikeouts in a row for the big lefty.
Yeah, 4 batters faced. 4 of them have been retired via the strikeout, so Scamonico has been very effective out of this bullpen. Would not be surprised to see Scamonico perhaps in a closer role at some point this season. He definitely has the velocity for it at that fastball, and we've seen it here against his 4 batters that he's faced with 4 strikeouts.
So now Josh McAdams, who, if I take a look at this real quick, he is just one of 3 hoppers to not strike out on the night. So if somebody's going to try and give the left-hander Scamonico a battle, McAdams is definitely a candidate for that. He looks at a couple of pitches here, already ahead in the count now. 2-0 is McAdams. McAdams singled and scored the only run of the game for the Hoppers back in that second inning. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the third, and this one is lofted high and shallow into right center field. Initially looked as if Spencer Ibarra had a beat on it, but the man out there in center field, Justin Erlinson, doing his job as a center fielder to take charge out there in the outfield for out number 2. Quickly 2 up, 2 down here for Michael Scamonico and the Unicorns.
Yeah, great job by Scamonico to get the fly ball and get these 2 quick outs because Chris Mangus is stepping to the plate. You don't want any runners on base with this guy coming up.
Yeah, especially with the lead just at 2 here. Worst case scenario, Mangus, if he does in fact leave the baseball field with the ball, he would end up only cutting the lead to 1. So really nice job here from Scamonico to not give Mangus any runners on the bases, but already lost in the count is Scamonico, down here now 2-0. Going to have to be careful against Mangus, who takes a big swing at the 2-0 but can't get anything out of it.
I like the challenge from the left-hander in Scamonico going against the player of the week here at the USPBL, and Chris Mangus. He's 3 for 7 on the year with 3 home runs and 4 RBIs. Another big swing at that one, but Scamonico challenging here 2-2.
Yeah, really nice pitch there on the 2-1 effort from Scamonico. After he blew a 2-0 fastball past Chris Mangus, he comes back with the bender to fool him. Let's see what he elects to bring here. Mixes in that little Johnny Cueto kick right there to try and mess with Mangus's approach to the plate, but Scamonico couldn't let the ball find the zone there, and now the payoff pitch will ensue. The count full here on Chris Mangus your MVP of Week 1? Scamonico taking a little bit too long there, not agreeing with his battery mate there, Chris Allen, behind the dish. So they'll retry here as Mangus gets situated back in that right-handed batter's box. Infield at regular depth, outfield with a big gap in right center field as Mangus is known to pull. And on the payoff pitch, Mangus elects to hold off on it and records the 2-out base on balls.
Next up, the left fielder, number 44, Gabe Gunter.
So now Gabe Gunter stands in. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Struck out swinging in the second, grounded out to second back in the 4th inning. So the Cal Lutheran native trying to get his first good wood on the baseball here tonight. Cameron Coons waiting on deck. You wonder if he'll get an opportunity here in this home half of the 6th inning. Gunter thought about going after it, elects to hold off, but home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz calling that one strike one. So a nice job by Michael Scamonico to get ahead of the batter here with a runner on base. Mangus won't be going anywhere. His speed is the last thing in his repertoire. The big fella who transitions from DH to first base, as we've seen him play both here for this Eastside team. Gunter looks at ball one, the count even at 1-1. The lefty-lefty matchup, Scamonico against Gunter. The 1-1 pitch, fastball missing out of the zone. The count now 2-1 on the left fielder.
And we're going to see Scamonico take a little bit more time before this pitch. He's fixing something on his shoe, trying to collect himself here before the 2-1.
Scamonico with a couple of looks to Mangus over there at first base, and you see the results. It looked as if Scamonico was a little bit too focused on the runner, and he tried to mess with the timing of both the runner and the batter, and I think he was a little bit more worried about that than focusing on the control of his pitch. That one missing the zone again here. Count now 3-1, a favorable hitter's count here for the left-hander Gunter. 3-1, missing low and inside, so after getting 2 quick outs, Scamonico has walked a couple of base runners into first and second now as the Unicorns have a little bit of struggle.
Yeah, back-to-back walks by Scamonico. That ball to strike ratio not looking too good. 13 balls to 7 strikes for Scamonico. So you got to pound the zone here, especially against Cameron Coons. Get yourself out of this inning and give yourself a break in that dugout, and hopefully your offense comes out firing in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Cameron Coons, another one of these big fellas on this Eastside team. 6'4", 220 pounds. The man out of Albertville, Alabama, I should say. First pitch Coons sees is a fastball. It gets enough of that outside corner, called strike number 1. So a really nice job from Scamonico to get ahead of the hitter here with a couple of diamond hoppers on the lily pads, as we used to say back when I was an intern in here year 1. No ducks on the pond, just a couple of hoppers on the lily pads.
I like it.
One of the little quirky things we got here with some of the team names, as Scamonico gives a look over to second base where Mangus stands and then delivers an absolutely nasty breaking ball that falls in over the heart of the plate, brings the count to 1-2 on Cameron Coons. Cameron Coons in his 3rd game here with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in this 2018 season. And on the 1-2 pitch, looked really close from up here, but a game of fractions is baseball. That one missing by just a hair out of the strike zone. Nice call there from the home plate umpire, Gary Wagenschutz, as Scamonico will have to battle back in here after just missing. The 2-2 breaking ball outside corner. That one looked good up here as well, but I'll tell you what an at-bat here from Cameron Coons. He's worked the count full. He's seen a couple of really good close pitches, but he just couldn't pull the trigger there. A nice job to work this count full, and not only that, but both base runners will be on the move here as soon as Scamonico elects to go home with the pitch. He comes set, Gives one look to Mangus at second. Comes home with it, and Coons swings and misses via the chase. And a couple of strikeouts in the inning for Scamonico. Strand the base runners at first and second for the Hoppers, excuse me. And we'll head to the 7th inning. Unicorns out in front by a score of 3-1. You're listening to Game 4 here of the 2018 USPBL season. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 4 of this 2018 USPBL season. We head to the 7th inning. It's 3-1 in favor of the visiting Utica Unicorns. And on the mound now, Alex Vargas for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Don Wanner going just an inning and a third. Gave up 1 hit, 2 walks, but also had 2 strikeouts to his credit. But let's hear a little bit more on the man on the mound out of New York, number 40, Alex Vargas.
Yeah, this is Vargas' second appearance out of the Hoppers bullpen. He's pitched 2 innings, 2 hits, given up 4 strikeouts. So Vargas very effective. He works ahead of his batters, and he pounds that strike zone with that 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastball.
So Vargas, a power arm out of the bullpen, definitely a recipe for disaster for opposing right-handed hitters, as you see it firsthand right here. Jimmy Latona down in the count as he looks at the 1-1 fastball outside. Count now 1-2. Latona doubled in the first run of the ball game back in the first inning of play when he scored Carter Grote. And as I say that, Jimmy Latona, he was just going to the store for some looking. He didn't need to buy anything. He ends up going down via the backwards K in the book for out number 1, and that'll bring up number 2, Spencer Ibarra.
Yeah, that was a slider from Vargas, starting in on the hands of Ibarra, just dropped right into the strike zone. Ibarra knew it, just put his head down right away before Gary even made the call. Slow walk back to the Unicorns dugout.
So down goes Latona. Now comes up Spencer Ibarra. Ibarra reached base safely in all 3 of his plate appearances thus far as he looks at called strike 1 to begin this at-bat. Reached on a drop third strike back in the first inning of play. He hits a line drive out into right center field, but time and time again, Cody Rudicelli moving those feet with ease, ranging to his left, and makes the play out there in right center field. Retires Ibarra for out number 2.
Yeah, and Paul Noche's job just It's very easy when it comes to the lineup card, who he's going to put out in center field. You got Johnny Knight the fourth and Cody Ruccelli, both of those guys, speed demons out in center field and really take a lot of pride in their craft out in center field. They really take advantage of their playing time, and Ruccelli just on fire tonight, tracking down a lot of fly balls.
Yeah, Chris Allen standing in here now, and you wonder how Paul Nochi, the manager of this Eastside Diamond Hopper team, will work that outfield throughout the rest of the season. We mentioned Ruccelli is probably your everyday center fielder. You got Johnny Knight, who actually leads this Eastside team with hits coming into play today. As I say that, a diving second baseman, Sebastian Diaz, not enough to stop that hard ground ball that finds its way into the outfield grass. Chris Allen, what a night for him. We haven't talked too much about him. Coming into that last at-bat, he was 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and a ground out, but now 3 of 4. No RBIs, no runs scored for Chris Allen, but a really nice day at the plate.
Yeah, he's getting himself on base. The only problem is that no one's been able to drive him in tonight, but Chris Allen definitely doing his part for the Unicorns, and he's gonna make a case for himself to be in this lineup every day.
Baseball is all about timely hitting and timely pitching. You got to have your best results when it matters and when it counts. So we'll see if the Utica Unicorns can take advantage of it here with the runner on, but still 2 outs on the board. Justin Erlinson stands in here now, looks at the first offer he sees, down in the count. 0-1 he goes. Erlinson singled back in the 5th off of Donald Warner. He was the first batter that Warner had faced. Erlinson down in the count here against Vargas, but he takes one into left center field. Let's see if the center fielder can do anything about it. Cody Ruccelli with that speed. Not enough. That ball trickles past the diving center fielder, and coming in to score is Chris Allen all the way from first base. RBI double for Justin Erlinson, and it's 4-1 in favor of the Unis.
What hustle by Ruccelli out there in center field, just out of the reach of that diving effort. But what a swing by Justin Erlinson. Vargas pounded that fastball inside, and frankly, Erlinson did not miss it. He drove that thing out near the scoreboard up against the wall. Chris Allen, great hustle around the bases. That's going to make it 4-1 Unicorn lead.
I'll tell you what, that's too good of an 0-1 pitch right there from Alex Vargas. He was ahead in the count against Erlinson. He just threw a fastball down the heart of the plate, and Erlinson took complete advantage of it. Talk about timely hitting, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Some insurance runs coming across the board here for the Unicorns. They now lead it 4-1, and my pick to stick for the ball game, Nico Lolio, standing in here. He's 1 for 2 on the night, single and a strikeout to his credit. Also walked, made it to third back in the 2nd inning. Lolio getting started off with a fastball that gets just enough of that outside corner. Count 0-1 here on Mr. Lolio.
Yeah, Nico, great situation for this guy. A single would score Erlinson at second base as the ball trickles away from Lukango. What a stop and a heads-up play to fire that thing down to second base, but Erlinson gets back safely. But Nico Lolio, a single would score a run, and, you know, more runs, Cody Brown, more runs equals a happier Cody Brown on that dugout.
No doubt about that. Cody Brown, like we mentioned, started this game for the Unicorns, went 5 innings strong, gave up just 4 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, had 5 strikeouts to his credit, but is in fact in line for the victory here tonight if the Unicorns can hold on to this 4-1 lead. Nico Lolio trying to add on another insurance run for the Unicorns. They already got 1 here in this top of the 7th inning. And on the 1-1 pitch, that one a fastball missing inside as Lolio had to back up out of the way of that one. The count now 2-1 on the lefty.
Lukango threw that one down to second base, trying to get Erlinson, but, you know, for the Hoppers, you don't want to turn this thing into a snowball fight. You don't want to be throwing that ball over the field. You're down 3 runs. Get the ball back to the pitcher. Erlinson's not going anywhere.
The 2-1 offer to Lolio. He swings right over it, and the count now even at 2-2. Nico Lolio, a part of a exchange that the USPBL will do this season at some point, where Nico Lolio, alongside a player to be named later, will actually go play in a professional league over in Sweden, and we will have 2 players from the Swedish Professional Baseball League come and play a couple of games here with us at Jimmy John's Field. So pretty cool experience, just another new thing that Andy Appleby and everybody here at Jimmy John's Field in the USPBL love to implement in this new 2018 season. But a base open at first. Lolio has worked the count full against Alex Vargas. The payoff pitch swung on and missed. Nico Lolio has a great at-bat but can't get the result that he wants. But not before the Utica Unicorns tack on one more here in the top of the 7th inning. It's stretch time here at Jimmy John's Field. The Unicorns out in front of the Hoppers 4-1. If you're at home, get out of your seat, stretch out a little bit, get a nice glass of water or beverage of your choosing for this beautiful Friday night game. And why don't you stick around here with us as we play Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here for the home half of the 7th inning. Rich Borland and Luke Hammett with you for game number 4. Michael Scamonico back out for his 2nd inning of work. He'll face off against the 8-9 one-hitters of this Eastside lineup as they desperately are trying to get 3 runs here in these last 3 at-bats. You got the 7th, 8th, and 9th opportunities awaiting, and then it's fireworks time here at the ballpark. Hope you stick around for that show, as this 1-1 pitch looked like it might have gotten a piece of Diaz over there at home plate, but he seems to be just fine as that one just missed the zone. The count now 2-1 in favor of Diaz, but mentioned Diaz with that single and stolen base back in the 5th inning, the only stolen base here in this entire ball game.
Yeah, both managers opting not to be too aggressive on these bases tonight. We've only seen 2 stolen bases this season for the 3 teams that have played thus far. James Bantley of the Birmingham Beavers also swiped a base on Mother's Day. But, yeah, not too many stolen bases this season so far, but I'm sure that'll change as the season goes on.
Yep, the game of adjustments it is. I'm sure we'll see more base stealing, more shifts, as some of these players and teams get a little bit more familiar with each other as this 2018 party continues. And Diaz fouls off the last pitch he saw right there. Count now full, so payoff pitch will ensue. Everybody in the field of play at normal depth. That left fielder, Justin Erlinson, shades to his right, our left, so it's kind of where he's been playing against all right-handed hitters in this ball game. Scamonico with the payoff pitch. It looked close from up here, but Sebastian Diaz works the full count walk. Second time he reaches base safely here tonight, and the Hoppers have a threat on base with the leadoff walk.
Yeah, Rich, the Hoppers are trailing in this game, but if you look at the stat sheet, you know exactly why they left, 11 guys on base tonight?
Yeah, going into the middle of the 7th inning here, the Utica Unicorns have left 11 men on base in this ball game, and it's just unbelievable how they're still up by 3 runs here. Just goes to show you what kind of performance we've seen from both Cody Brown and now Michael Scamonico here this evening, as they've done a really nice job against this Eastside batting lineup.
Yeah, a lot of power in this lineup as well, especially in that heart of the order with Buhner, McAdams, and Mangus. It's now down to the 9 guy, Thomas Lacongo. Scamonico walks Sebastian Diaz, perhaps a ground ball, gets himself a double play. We've seen plenty of those tonight.
The 1-1 pitch to Thomas Lukongo misses high and out of the zone, but you make a good point right there, Luke. You got the catcher up at the plate. If you get a hard ground ball hit your way, it's almost a guaranteed double play. Mentioned with the speed Sebastian Diaz has over there at first. A tough, slow roller ground ball might not get to, but if Lukongo makes good contact on it and it finds a glove, got to imagine that it would be an easy try for a double play here. But Lukongo has worked himself into a 3-1 count here. Scamonico having a battle of the wits here on the mound, trying to not only battle the men at the plate, the men on the base pass, but himself as well. He's worked a lot of counts here with 3 balls in his outing this night. And the 3-1 pitch just missing outside. You know, you try to establish the strike zone as a pitcher, whether you're starting the game or coming out of the bullpen. But if you can't start off with strikes, you're not going to continue with them. And anything that's close, the home plate umpire tends to favor the hitters at the plate, trying to force pitchers to work themselves into that strike zone. But a little meeting of the minds on the mound as manager of this Unicorn team, Jim Essien, will actually be taking Scamonico out of this ball game. So we'll take a quick break here as there are no outs and a couple of base runners on here in this home half of the 7th. We'll get you the new arm on the mound as well as Michael Scamonico's numbers when we come back. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're sitting here in this home half of the 7th inning. A couple of base on balls from the 8 and 9 hitters of this Eastside lineup have given the Unicorns a run for their money here as they have the 3-run lead intact, but the tying run now up at the plate. Michael Scamonico's night's done. He goes an inning plus, gives up no hits, no runs, and had 4 walks, which are killer. Also had 2 strikeouts, but he is, of course, in charge of the 2 base runners on first and second, both Diaz and Lukongo. We head back to the top of this East Side order. Just a prime spot here for the Diamond Hoppers. You got nobody out. The tying run at the plate in your leadoff hitter, Cody Rudisilli, who is 1 for 2 on the night. Singled, reached third, back in the third, walked back in the first inning, and then struck out looking in that 5th inning. Count 1-1 on the batter as Jesse Stinnett is your pitcher here. The 1-1, is swung right on through. Let's hear a little bit about Mr. Jesse Stinnett.
This is Tinette's second appearance out of the Unicorn bullpen. We saw him on opening night against these Hoppers. He went an inning and a third. He gave up 1 hit. He faced 5 batters, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So Stinnett just, he pitches to contact, which is a good thing to have in your rotation. Get your defense a little bit of a workout behind you.
So you said he's pitching well to contact. Didn't have any strikeouts in that first relief appearance, but a really nice job there. You would have taken a ground ball that could possibly turn into 2, but instead he strikes out Rudisilli for the first out. Nice job there by Jesse Stinnett to retire the leadoff batter of this Eastside lineup, but still a long ways to go. Still 2 runners on here for the Diamond Hoppers and just 1 out on the scoreboard. The first pitch looked to be a little bit off speed from the right hand of Jesse Stinnett. Kevin Watley now standing in, offered at that first pitch he saw, but not a great swing as he's down now in the count 0-1.
It's a great curveball. First pitch curveball from Jesse Stinnett. Got it in on the hands of Watley. Nothing too much he could do. He tied him up pretty well there.
And after throwing that breaking ball to begin the at-bat, comes back with the fastball high and inside. Probably shaking the boots of Kevin Watley a little bit there, but everybody's all relaxed back here now in their respective positions as Stinnett, not sure if it was something with the hand, if he didn't like the grip, or if he just didn't like what he was seeing from his battery mate Chris Allen. The 1-1 pitch, another bender. That one is clearly working here. So down in the count is Kevin Watley. Both of the strikes you've seen were breaking balls. The one ball you saw was a fastball. What do you think you're seeing here, Luke?
I'd go right back to that curveball. 1-2, you're ahead of your guy. You still got things to work with. Even with 2 guys on, I'm still going with that curveball.
And look at that. Set you up, and there you have it. Nice insight there from my color partner there, Luke. And just like that, back-to-back strikeouts for Jesse Stinnett, doing a whole lot better job than Mr. Michael Scamonico had in this 7th inning. Scamonico did well in that 1 inning previously in the 6th. He had 2 strikeouts, did give up 2 walks, but did not give up any runs. But like we mentioned, 4 total walks in just that 1+ inning of work. Not a recipe for success if you're a pitcher on any team. But we got 2 outs here now. Gunnar Buhner standing in that right-handed batter's box. Fouls off the first pitch he sees. So he's quickly down in the count here, 0-2. But what a job we're seeing from Jesse Stinnett. Just absolutely baffling some of these hitters with that breaking ball and off-speed stuff. I mean, you've seen it time and time again here. You've seen 2 curveballs thrown to Buhner. I wouldn't be shocked if I do see a little high fastball action here. Instead, the breaking ball back in the dirt. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's exactly what Jesse Stinnett is doing here. I believe that's 4 straight curveballs.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to lay off. I'm surprised Buhner didn't pull the trigger on that one. That one just started right down the middle, and then it just dropped off the table down in the dirt. Great pitch by Stinnett.
Another breaking ball. This one, instead of starting in the zone and falling out, that one seemed to have started a little bit inside and sort of broke over the plate at the last second. Buhner doing a good job to stay alive and protect here in the count. Fouls that one off. It remains 1-2.
Yeah, Stinnett has obviously established his curveball. I believe he's setting him up with like you said, a high fastball. Wouldn't be surprised to see it here.
Instead, a breaking ball in the dirt. This one getting away from Chris Allen. It went back and then all the way to the right here behind home plate. And it's one thing you got to worry about with all the curveballs being thrown there. Of course, you trust your man behind the plate, but sometimes that ball can get away from you, and that's exactly what we just saw right there. Both runners moving up 90 feet, and a couple of threats now in a lot closer of a scoring position. Gunnar Buhner even in the count here at 2-2 with great opportunity.
Yeah, tying run at the plate. Could tie this thing up with one swing of the bat if Stinnett is not careful here.
And that breaking ball absolutely fools Gunnar Buhner. He looked very agitated at the end of that result. Not sure if it was from the called strike 3 or if he was mad at himself for not allowing himself to swing at it. But after 2 walks from Michael Scamonico, Jesse Stinnett comes in and strikes out the side to get the Hoppers, or excuse me, the Unis out of that jam. We're through 7 innings here in Game 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. Unicorns lead it 4-1. We're heading to the top of the 8th. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. shaking it off here as we head to this 8th inning of Game 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. New arm on the mound is number 23, Keaton Aldridge, and Alex Vargas' night is done. He goes the 1 inning of work, gives up 1 run on 2 hits, didn't throw any walks, but had 2 strikeouts to his credit. He now gives way to number 23, Keaton Aldridge. Let's hear a little bit about what Mr. Aldridge has done for the Hoppers so far.
Yeah, Keaton is a familiar face out of this Hopper bullpen. He's pitching his 3rd consecutive game, and he has struggled thus far. He has 1 loss on the season. He's given up 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, but he's also given up 4 runs this season so far. That ERA is 18 to start the 2018 campaign.
Yeah, not ideal. Not an ideal ERA. Of course, you want to have it down in the 2-1 sort of area code. And like we mentioned, Aldridge now the man on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. And the first batter he will face is the number 9 hitter, Adrian Guzman. Guzman on the night reached on a base on balls back in the 6th inning, but popped out to shortstop in the 2nd and grounded out into the 5-4-3 double play in the 4th. First pitch he sees to begin this 8th inning is a breaking ball in the dirt that he elects to hold off on. He is ahead in the count here now, 1-0. But like we mentioned, Keaton Aldridge, he's a familiar face for this Diamond Hopper team, but hasn't had quite the results that he had wanted. You just wonder if he's got the stuff, he's got the talent, and he's just not executing, or if it's just a guy that can burn innings when your team is down. Obviously, the Hoppers still looking for their first win of the 2018 USPBL season, so maybe we're just seeing Aldridge in these roles where he comes in late in the game where the team is not out of it, but not ahead. And you got to imagine Aldridge having a tough time out there mentally as he's now got the 9-hitter ahead in the count, 3-0.
Yeah, his confidence is definitely down to start this year as he just throws 4 straight balls to Adrian Guzman, who will take first base.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, Aldridge. Yeah, there's a little bit of miscommunication between Lacongo as he goes out there to have a chat with Aldridge. They got crossed up quite a few times in that at-bat. So Aldridge, he's up to a slow start here again tonight against these Utica Unicorns.
Yeah, he's just going out there to calm his pitcher down. Obviously, the last thing you want to do coming out of the bullpen is walk anybody, and then not only do you not want to walk anybody, but you don't want to walk the leadoff batter, and not only that, but you don't want to do it on 4 straight pitches. So obviously the worst case scenario here for Aldridge to begin this 8th inning with his team already down by 3. Aldridge hunched over in that set position, brings that leg up, brings that baseball to the plate, and finally finding the strike zone is Aldridge. He's ahead of Carter Grote now, 0-1 as we head back to the top of the order.
Now, Keaton's a hometown guy. He's from Birmingham, Michigan.
As the ball's hit over to the left side, could be 2. Gunnar Buhner over to second. Bastian Diaz over to first, but just in the nick of time, Carter Grote reaches on the fielder's choice as the speed at the top of that order proving pivotal. Guzman retired at second for out number 1.
Yeah, tough to double up Grote there as he's running that baseline very quickly and swiftly at that. So a tough guy to double up, but Aldridge, that's a confidence booster there to get a ground ball, make your job a little bit easier.
Yeah, really nice job from Gunnar Buhner to not only charge that baseball, but go to the correct lead runner over there at second base. Did about everything he could from a defensive standpoint. Now Dylan Sprague coming up to the plate for the Unicorns. Sprague over 3, does have a walk to his credit, but has not came in to score or driven in any runs just yet. Count 1-0 on the left-hander. One of just 3 lefties in this Utica lineup. Sprague a lefty, Spencer Ibarra a lefty, and my pick the stick, Nico Lolio, the designated hitter, also left-handed. Sprague works the count in his favor here, 2-0, as home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz wipes off home plate clean, just in case Keaton Aldridge had forgot about where it was. as he has thrown a lot of balls and not too many strikes here, but when he's got contact against him, it has been soft.
Yeah, he throws that cutter that it goes in on the hands of those right-handed batters, as we saw last at bat with Grote. It got in on the hands, which forced Grote to send a soft rolling ground ball to third base. So that cutter does get in on the hands, but I expect to see a lot of off-speed here against Dylan Sprague. Now 3-1 in the count.
Yeah, that 3-0 pitch, fastball looked to be at the top of the strike zone. Finds enough of it to keep the count alive here for Mr. Aldridge, but still a long ways to go. 1 out, top of the 8th inning here. Unicorns out in front, 4-1 as they look to add on to their lead. And Aldridge bringing the breaking ball on 3-1. Can't find the zone once again, and that is walk number 2 of the inning for Mr. Aldridge, the man out of Birmingham, Michigan, like you mentioned, Luke. There is a arm getting loose out there in the Eastside bullpen. That's familiar face out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, number 14, Torrey DeShazier. Not sure if he'll be coming out for the 9th inning or if he'll maybe relieve Aldridge. It all depends on what happens in these next couple of at-bats. Aldridge with the first pitch thrown to the big fella Dan Ward. Really nice piece of pitching right there. Fastball in on the hands, and nothing the lengthy Dan Ward could do about it.
Yeah, with the velocity that Aldridge features, there's no point of screwing around up there. Just go right at these guys. You have the velocity to do it, to blow it by them. And you just saw him blow it by Dan Ward there, one of the best hitters in the USPBL.
0-1 pitch, the off-speed variety. Really nice job there from Thomas Lacongo behind the dish to drop to his knees to the right, keep that ball in front of him, and keep the runners at their respective bases. Mentioned, stick around for fireworks after this game, as it is Xfinity Firework Friday night at the ballpark, like it will be each and every Friday here at Jimmy John's Field. Meanwhile, Dan Ward swinging and missing at a pitch that he looked like he might have wanted to hold back on, but either way, the beauty of baseball, short-term memory, rip that page out of the book and get ready for the next one, because it's coming.
Yeah, especially with Aldridge, he works fast and he throws very hard, so just a blink of an eye, Aldridge will be coming out with the next pitch.
Gives a couple of looks over there at second base. This ground ball hit up the middle. Can it be 2? It won't be any. A diving shortstop, Kevin Watley, isn't enough to keep that ball in the infield. And coming in to score is Carter Grote all the way from second base. Moving over to third is Sprague, and Dan Ward with the RBI single gives the Unicorns the 5-1 lead here in the 8th.
Yeah, another soft ground ball, this time from Dan Ward. Just got enough of it to send it back up the middle underneath the diving glove of the Hoppers shortstop. That's Kevin Watley just underneath the glove of him. That's going to score another run, 5-1 Unicorns. And boy, the Unicorns have the Hoppers number to start this season. 18 runs now scored against these Hoppers from the Unicorns. Just a great start for Utica.
Yeah, the Unicorns and Hoppers met in the first official game of the 2018 USPBL season. We had our Friday night game last week rained out. That game was between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and Westside Woolly Mammoths. But unfortunately, that game was not finished as the Unicorns won game 1 of the season 13-3. And like you mentioned, Luke, with a 5-1 lead here against the Hoppers, 18 runs to the Hoppers, just 4 so far through this season series. Unicorns all over the Hoppers and still just 1 out with the runners on the corners. Aldridge with the 1-1 delivery to Jimmy Latona. Falls in the zone for strike number 2, called by home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz. Latona on the night, 1 for 4. Started the night off with an RBI double in the first, but since then a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout for the left fielder. Looks at ball 2, evens this count up at 2-2. But man, could the Hoppers use a hard ground ball that leads to 2 outs here. 5-1 lead for the Unicorns. Keaton Aldridge, the man on the mound. The delivery, the pitch, the swing and the miss. Latona goes down via the strikeout for the second time here tonight. 2 outs now for the Diamond Hoppers as they will try and escape this one with just the 4-run deficit.
It's a big out for Keaton. Now that takes a little bit of stress off yourself. Now just anything hit softly or in the air will get yourself out of this inning. So Aldridge doing a nice job getting that strikeout, especially against a great batter in Latona.
So now Spencer Ibarra, the Ohio University product, coming up to the plate here for the Utica Unicorns as they lead it 5-1 here. Ibarra down in the count, 0-1 on the evening. Ibarra, quite the variety. He got a single scored back in the 3rd inning, struck out but reached base safely in the 1st. Reached on a walk back in the 5th inning and then flew out to center in the 7th. So a variety of results, but nothing all that positive. No runs came in to score, no RBIs to Ibarra's credit, and just like that, chasing the high fastball out of the zone, he's down now 0-2.
Keaton Aldridge now up to 22 pitches on the evening. Dead split at 11 for balls and strike ratio.
The count 0-2, 2 outs on the board. Keaton Aldridge trying to get out of a big jam. The 0-2 fastball out of the zone. It looks like he was trying to pitch that fastball right at the top of the strike zone or just out of it, but that one getting further away from the strike zone than he probably would have liked. Sort of a waste pitch right there for the right-hander. The count 1-2 in his favor. Ibarra at the plate. Fights one off, and it goes right past the third base bag and tails into the left field corner. Rounding second and heading to third is Guzman, and he gets, or excuse me, that's Ward after he had that RBI single, and the Unicorns just keep tacking it on here. They lead it now 6-1 over the Hoppers.
An absolutely perfectly placed ball right there by Ibarra, just out of the reach of the third baseman, Gunnar Buhner. On the diving effort, just gets right over the bag, trickles all the way down to the left field bullpen. That's going to score another run. 6-1 Unicorns. They're really pulling away here. Cody Brown very happy down in that bullpen.
Yeah, Cody Brown, of course, like we mentioned, the starter for this Utica squad in the ball game tonight. He's in line for the victory. All the Unicorns have to do is get 6 more outs. Chris Allen now standing at the plate. The catcher for this Utica team looks at ball 1 to begin the at-bat. There is an open base over there at first, but in the situation we're in, Unicorns ahead out in front 6-1. Aldridge going to be going after Allen here, even though Allen having quite the night. A double, 2 singles, a run scored to his credit. Wouldn't be bad to put him on base, but obviously with the strain of the situation for the Hoppers, they're going to take any out they can get.
Yeah, and for Keaton's sake, you definitely want to get this out. It's been a rough night again for Keaton Aldridge. The Unicorns pulled away this inning 6-1, the scoreboard reads. Keaton Aldridge in a desperate need of a third out here, getting himself back in that dugout.
Allen even at the count, 1-1. Aldridge with the delivery, breaking ball in the dirt. Good stop there from Thomas Lukongo. Lukongo out of West Falls, New York. A lot of fans sticking around for the final of this one, trying to see how this one ends up. And not only that, but Friday night fireworks here at the ballpark. The 2-1 pitch from Aldridge, that one misses out of the zone in the dirt. Once again, back-to-back stops there from Lukongo, doing a nice job behind home plate to keep his team somewhat in this. But 2 runs for the Unicorns in the first, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, and now 2 here in the top of the 8th, give them the 6-1 lead. Chris Mangus of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers has stayed in the park all night long, which is a shock to everybody here, as Chris Allen works the 3-1 walk, and things going from bad to worse here for Keaton Aldridge. Let's keep a tally here. Aldridge led this inning off with a walk. The 3rd batter he faced, he walked. And now walk number 3 here for the right-hander out of Birmingham. And you got to imagine this is his inning to finish at least. They're not going to try and bring in somebody else. We got nobody getting loose out there in the left field bullpen. This is Aldridge's inning to finish, no matter the results. And now Justin Erlinson stands in here. He's got a double and single to his credit. Also struck out swinging in his first plate appearance back in the second.
Aldridge finally getting ahead of one of these unicorns. Just trying to pound that fastball in there, just trying to get himself this third out. It's been a lengthy inning for himself. Just a confidence booster to get this third out here.
0-1 to Erlinson in the dirt. Pitcher Keaton Aldridge really forcing his battery mate Thomas Lukongo to work hard here, but bases are loaded. Lukongo cannot let anything get past him as the Unicorns already with the 5-run lead here in the top of the 8th. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Erlinson at the plate. Didn't like the call he received there from home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz, but in a situation like this, anything close, you better believe it's going to be called a strike. Your team up 6-1, bases are loaded. Last thing home plate umpire wants to see is a walk bring in a run. The 1-2 to Erlanderson, swung on and missed. Strikeout ends the threat, but not before the Unicorns can tack on 2 more here in this top of the 8th inning. We head to the bottom half. Unicorns out in front 6-1 over the Eastside Diamond Hoppers here in Game 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the USPBL YouTube channel here with the USPBL. Unicorns out in front of the Eastside Diamond Hoppers 6-1 in this Game 4 matchup. Back out on the mound for his second inning of work is Jesse Stinnett. Stinnett had relieved Michael Scamonico back in the 7th inning after 2 walks were thrown by Scamonico to lead off the 7th. My man, Jesse Stinnett, comes in and strikes out the side to get out of the threat and kind of take all the wind out of the sails of the Hoppers. But as I say that, a hard line drive hit out to dead center field. Justin Erlinson sort of stalls with his initial reaction, but then finds the baseball and makes his way to the right to make the catch for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for the Hoppers.
Josh McAdams has been a pleasant surprise in that 4 slot for the Hoppers. He's been barreling up pretty much everything that's been thrown to him. That one nearly just in front of the warning track out in dead center field. Just allowed out for Justin Stinnett, and he's been doing his job out of that bullpen for the Unicorns tonight.
And now the man of week 1, or weekend 1, I should say, of the USPBL season, Chris Mangus, up at the plate, fouls off the first pitch he sees. Looked as if he was going after the pitch, then thought about holding back, but just could not in time. So Mangus down in the count here, 0-1 to begin his fourth at-bat of the night. Mangus with 2 walks to his credit, which I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of this year since he had home runs in each of his first 3 at-bats of the season. Also grounded out to the pitcher back in the 4th inning. So Mangus going to have to protect here, down now 0-2. A breaking ball that probably stayed too far in that zone for Jesse Stinnett's liking. Mangus doesn't take advantage of it, was a little early, fouls it off to the left side of the field of play.
19 pitches thrown from Jesse Stinnett. 15 of them have been strikes. A great ratio for Jesse tonight, who struck out the side in that first inning.
As this ball is lifted high and deep into right center field, but it looks like it's going to be enough to stay in the ballpark. And Erlinson, back-to-back plays here. He's moving left, right, up, down, you name it. Nice couple of defensive gems from the center fielder, Justin Erlinson.
That just shows the strength of Chris Mangus. He just flipped his bat out there and still drove that thing about 5 feet in front of that warning track in center field. So Chris Mangus is definitely a very strong man in that 5 slot for Paul Nochi's ball club tonight. Just been a little bit a sluggish start to the season for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers as they're trailing 6-1 here in their 3rd game on the year.
And now Gabe Gunter standing in with nobody on, 2 outs, couple of flyouts to Erlinson in center field have us sitting here in this home half of the 8th inning. Unicorns with the commanding 6-1 lead as they have been out in front all night long. Gunter quickly evening the count at 1-1. Gunter on the night, 0 for 2, a strikeout, a ground out, reached on a walk back in the 6th inning. The 1-1 pitch looked close from up here, but just missed the zone, a little low, a little outside there.
Yeah, try to sneak in that slow curveball was Jesse Stinnett. We saw about 6 curveballs in a row last inning from Jesse, but very effective pitch for Stinnett out of this bullpen.
The 2-1 pitch called strike by home plate umpire Gary Wagenschutz. Couple of 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs for this matchup between Jesse Stinnett and Gabe Gunter. 2 outs on the board, and the 2-2 pitch, curveball. Gunter could not wait long enough as he slowly rolls this one over to the right side of the field of play near the first base coach's box.
Stinnett will most likely go back to that curveball here against Gunter. He's had him out in front quite a few times. Let's see if he pulls this one, tries to bounce in front of home plate here, trying to get him fishing.
Stinnett comes set, delivers, and this ball is lifted, a line drive, but right at Spencer Ibarra out there in right field. 3 good pieces of contact for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in that home half of the 8th, but unfortunately for them, that's kind of how their luck's just been going all night long. We're through 8 here in game number 4 of the 2018 USPBL season. Unicorns out in front, 6-1. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Inning number 9 coming up here between the Unicorns and Diamond Hoppers. The man on the mound now is Torrey DeShazier. Keaton Aldridge gives way to him. Aldridge, that one long inning, he faced off against everybody but Nico Lolio in that frame. Gives up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, but had 2 strikeouts to his credit. And now Nico Lolio stands in here to lead off this 9th inning. A single, a walk, 2 strikeouts for Lolio on the night. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Friday night means fireworks here at Jimmy John's Field. We're just moments away from that. 6 outs to be exact. Lolio against DeShazier. Lolio fouls off the 1-1 offer. Stays battling here in this count, but he's going to have to protect here. Now down 1-2 to a power arm in DeShazier.
Yeah, Torrey is making his second appearance out of this bullpen for the Unicorns. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. For the Hoppers, excuse me. Yep, Torrey. He's been very effective out of that Hopper bullpen. In his 3rd season here at the USPBL. He was here in the inaugural season with the Hoppers, so his 3rd season with the Hoppers.
Yep, DeShazier versus Lolio. Advantage DeShazier. Forces Lolio to strike out for the 3rd time tonight. So a good start to Lolio's night with the walk and then the single, but then strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. He'll have to go back into that dugout, toss on the good old sombrero. And now Adrian Guzman stands in with 1 out, nobody on here in this top of the 9th inning. If you're just joining us, the Unicorns scored 2 runs in the first. Hoppers got their only run in the home half of the second. And then 1 more run for the Unicorns in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th. And see if they tack on anything else here insurance-wise, as they don't necessarily need it, but if you're a Unicorn fan, you wouldn't mind seeing another couple of runs get put up on the scoreboard. There is some action in that Unicorn bullpen, working on getting a number as we speak. The 3-0 to Guzman, nowhere close, and DeShazier on 4 straight pitches walks the batter.
Next up, the 3rd baseman, number 9, Carter Grote.
Yeah, Guzman's been doing a great job in that 9-hole, getting on base tonight, setting himself up, setting his team up for success, especially in that 9 slot with the top of the order right behind you. So Guzman has been fantastic tonight for the Unicorns.
You know, sometimes managers try and put a guy at the bottom of the lineup that can act as a sort of a double leadoff type of role. And I don't know if you know this or not, Luke, but with Guzman walking right there, back-to-back-to-back walks. So a really nice job at the plate, seeing his pitches, forcing the opposition to work here. And back to the top of our order we go. Carter Grote standing back in for the count it 6th time tonight. 6 at-bats here now for Carter Grote. Reached on an error, scored in the 1st, got a double in the 2nd, grounded out to shortstop in the 4th. Struck out in the 6th, scored on a fielder's choice back in that previous 8th inning, but he's quickly down in the count here 0-2, and look at that. DeShazier gets his 2nd strikeout of the inning. Got the walk in between the 2 Ks with Guzman still over there at first base, but a nice job from DeShazier to attack some of these Unicorn hitters outside of that 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, he pulled the string right there against Grote, got him out in front of the curveball, sits him down, and that's going to bring up Dylan Sprague, who's 0 for 3 tonight.
Sprague fighting one off over to the left side. The 3rd baseman, Gunnar Buhner, thought about going to 2nd, but makes the easy play at 1st. And the Unicorns are retired in the top of the 9th inning. Head to the home half. Eastside needs a 5 spot to keep this one alive. You're listening to the USPBL YouTube channel. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final frame we go. Home half of the 9th inning. It's all Utica Unicorns in this one. They lead it 6-1, and Jesse Stinnett's night officially done for the Unicorns on the bump. He goes 2 innings, and he gives up no hits, no earned runs, no runs at all, no walks, and had 3 strikeouts to his credit. He came in to relieve Michael Scamonico in that 7th inning. After back-to-back walks from Scamonico to lead off the 7th, Stinnett came in, struck out the side, and then in the 8th inning gets 3 flyouts, 2 to center and 1 to right field. He now gives way to the man on the mound. Luke, let's hear a little bit more about number 12, Chris Dula.
Chris Dula is making his second appearance out of the bullpen for the Utica Unicorns. He went 2/3 of an inning. He struggled a little bit. 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. For Dula, hoping for a better outing here. A 1-2-3 inning, preferably for Dula, here in the bottom of the 9th.
So a pinch hit opportunity here as John Kraft, one of the fan favorites here at the ballpark for this Eastside Diamond Hopper team, stands in a pinch hit opportunity. The man out of Nutley, New Jersey, getting his first plate appearance of the night. Not in a prime spot as his team's down by 5 runs here in this home half of the 9th inning, and just like that, John Kraft looks at 2 pitches, swings at 1, and goes down via the backwards K. So not an ideal situation for either John Kraft nor the Hoppers here in this home half of the 9th. Not the way that they wanted to start off this inning, but take it 1 pitch at a time, 1 at bat at a time, and the beauty of this great game of baseball, there's no clock up out there, so this one is not over until the Fat Lady sings. Sebastian Diaz now standing in, but I'm liking what I'm seeing thus far from Chris Dooley. You mentioned it's his second outing here for the Unicorns. Another one of those fireballers that'll be coming in late in games for this Unicorn team. Not sure if he is their, in fact, closer. Obviously, this isn't a safe situation with the run lead for the Unicorns, more than 3. As Sebastian Diaz on that 0-1 offer gets himself out of the way of that one. Didn't like that ball being thrown near him, near the midsection, but he gets out of the way there. Sebastian on the night struck out looking in his first plate appearance, singled and stole a base in the 5th, and then reached on a full count walk back in the 7th. He chases after the 1-1 pitch here against the man on the mound, Chris Dula. Dula out of Ferrum, Virginia, trying to get the job done and close the door for the Unicorns here as he's continuing to work against Diaz. That's another strike thrown in the zone. Diaz can't do anything with it but foul it off into the protective netting.
Yeah, Dula working very quickly here tonight. Got John Kraft on 3 straight fastballs, and we've seen nothing else but fastballs here to Sebastian Diaz.
This ball hit high and deep into right center field, but it's going to stay in the yard. Underneath it was Spencer Ibarra. Sebastian Diaz is, in fact, retired there. 2 up, 2 down for the Hoppers here in their final frame of opportunity.
Last chance for the Hoppers here. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th.
So it looks like we will have our second pinch hitter of the frame. And stepping in for Tommy Lukongo is going to be that man that we've mentioned a few times for his defensive theatrics, number 5, Johnny Knight IV.
Yeah, Johnny Knight, the hit leader for this ball club. He had a great opening weekend. Let's see what he can do here in weekend number 2 in this pitch hit opportunity for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
You know, I'll tell you what, you don't see the 4th too often anymore. Me, myself, being a 3rd in my family generation, I'm going to try and, you know, pass the torch along, have Richard Borland IV one day, but that road very, very far from here. Johnny Knight IV, meanwhile, has worked the count in his favor here 2-0, as Chris Dula has done a nice job in this effort so far. The leadoff strikeout and then the 1-out flyout have the Hoppers retired here to begin this home half of the 9th, but a nice job thus far for John Knight IV. He's seen 3 pitches. None of them have found the strike zone. So 3-0 the count on the right-hander. Dula set on the mound. Brings that front leg up, brings it home. Fastball high and sort of outside. Called a strike by the home plate umpire. It's going to take a lot for the home plate umpire in that 3-0 count in this situation of the game to give him the free pass there. He's going to force Johnny Knight to work unless, of course, it's something completely out of the zone. The 3-1 tonight, that one enough out of there. That one far inside, almost got a piece of Knight right there. He reaches on the base on balls, so Unicorn's not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, this is a big out here with the top of the order coming up. You got to get yourself out of this inning. Got to get yourself this win, and for the Unicorns go up 2-0 on the season, trying to put your divisional rival, the Hoppers, down to 0-3.
Yeah, it would be a tough start for the Hoppers. They have, of course, played the most games out of any team in this USPBL so far, and they haven't gotten the result they've wanted to at all. This ball, as we head back to the top of this Eastside order, or lineup, I should say, Cody Ruzelli tries to hold off on the first pitch he sees, but cannot, and instead ends up fouling it off and into the protective netting in front of our grandstands here.
Yeah, we've yet to see the Woolly Mammoths play.
This ball lifted down the right field line, but out of play.
Yeah, we've yet to see the Woolly Mammoths play. Yep, I believe they're in action tomorrow against the Unicorns.
Yep. We got our second game of this second weekend here at Jimmy John's Field. First pitch tomorrow night at 7:05. We'll have the Westside Woolly Mammoths getting hosted by this hometown team, the Utica Unicorns. And as we say that, this night is over. Handshake between Chris Allen. Gary Wagenschutz behind the plate sends this one to the finale. The final score of this one is Unicorn 6, Hoppers 1. Cody Brown will go down in the books as the victor, and he gets his first win of the season. As for the losing pitcher, that one is going to go down in the books to Tyler Palm. So, Luke, got your first game in the books as a broadcaster in this great sport of baseball. What are some takeaways you saw here tonight?
You know, it's been a blast calling this game between these two great teams. You know, a word of advice from you: if you mess up, just keep going. You know, I hit a few mistakes here tonight, but you know that's gonna happen. I'll bounce back. But hopefully the Diamond Hoppers bounce back here this weekend. Hopefully they can get their first win this weekend. But it was a great night of baseball. The Unicorns go away 6-1, the final score. It was a great night of baseball, and I thank you for the opportunity.
No doubt about it, Luke. It was fun to have you on the call. We'll have you on time and time again throughout the rest of this season. And you mentioned Hoppers with a redemption try. We talked about what's going to be happening here tomorrow night, as it's WCSX Classic Rock Saturday and also Armed Forces Day here at the ballpark. That game between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Utica Unicorns. And then on Sunday, for our Sunday matinee game on May the 20th, 1:05 start. It'll be the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and these Eastside Diamond Hoppers. It'll be Sunday fun day at the ballpark. First pitch, like I mentioned, 1:05. And then tomorrow night, first pitch action, 7:05. Gates open at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And we will be right back here with you on the call. But for my partner, Luke Hammett, my name's Rich Borland. You stay classy, Utica.